This is the 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world. And it could blow your head clean off.
Get ready.
Do you feel lucky?
To get dirty.
Blow through you, punk.
Dirty Harry, the Ultimate Collector's Edition. The original tough guy is back and available for the first time in high definition.
Why do they call you Dirty Harry?
You're a killer, Harry. A maniac.
Man's got to know his limitations.
You are Cold Bold Callahan with his great big 44.
Somehow you don't seem like the typical policeman.
I'm not. You want to play the game. You better know the rules, love.
Loaded with high-caliber special features, including all new interviews with Clint Eastwood.
I figured the fact that I even got in the movie business must have been somewhat controversial. I certainly was turned down by enough people.
New documentaries and exclusive new collectibles, including a Scorpio killer map and a Harry Callahan badge and wallet.
We're not just going to let you walk out of here.
Who's we, sucker?
Smith, Wesson, and me.
Experience Dirty Harry like never before. Restored. Remastered. And fully loaded.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Dirty Harry, the Ultimate Collector's Edition. Own it on Blu-ray and DVD Tuesday, June 3rd. Also available separately on DVD.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Movie Watchalong here at And I Quote Channel. Boy, do we have a treat for you on this one. We are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Sudden Impact, the fourth installment in the historic Dirty Harry franchise starring the one and only Clint Eastwood. And I am not alone on this journey to our virtual Cineplex. Joining us here on set, please welcome a good friend of the And I Quote Channel, good friend of Movie Watch Along. Please welcome Austin back to the stage. Austin, welcome back, my friend. How are you?
It's a big gun he's got in these movies, man. That 44 Magnum is it's a kicker. I've only ever shot 357. That's the highest I've ever gone at a firing range, and 44 Magnum scares me. The fact that he can shoot it one-handed is something for Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. It's what we call one for the books. Well,
right.
We're happy that you're here, and we're happy that you are here with us here at Movie Watch Along for the 40th anniversary of Sudden Impact. Now, before we get started and hit that magical button known as K and begin our feature presentation, we're going to give you an opportunity to get to know our panelists a little bit better. So, Austin, I'm going to turn things over to you. What was your experience with Sudden Impact or the Dirty Harry franchise?
My dad, these are dad movies, Ryan Permison, and, and my dad introduced me to a lot of dad movies, when I was growing up. So a lot of like old war movies, The Dirty Dozen, Where Eagles Dare with Clint Eastwood, Kelly's Heroes, things like that. So I was a fan of those. And yeah, we would catch, some of the Dirty Harry movies on TV when they would come on. So yeah, I mean, these are definitely like, the movies your dad loves. But it gave me that sense of like, I dig them too. The last time I fully watched them all the way through, there was a podcast I was following about 10 years ago. They did like a full retrospective, like hit all of these in a row. So that was the last time I watched them all in a row. So it's been a minute since I watched them. I've since become more of I'm big on Clint Eastwood Westerns. I love Clint Eastwood Westerns. I'm wearing my For a Few Dollars More t-shirt tonight because it's the closest thing I have to anything Eastwood tonight. But yeah, it's been a minute since I watched all these through. I watched Sudden Impact last night to get ready for this, and yeah, it was a good time. And I forgot how kind of these are a different breed of movies. Like I don't know if you can make these movies now with the way the cop who doesn't follow the rules. It's I'll pull out some of the tropes and things you see in a lot of these cop movies during this, but they're a good time though if you can put yourself in the right mindset.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. And thank you for sharing that with us. So for me, my experience with the Dirty Harry franchise in general, speaking of great Clint Eastwood films, during the lockdown, I went on a bit of a binge watch of a lot of Clint Eastwood movies that I hadn't seen up to that point, and a few of them just happened to be the Dirty Harry franchise, and I watched all of them. And from those watching those movies, I should say, boy, my words are getting turned. So In the Dirty Harry franchise, the ones that I enjoyed the most out of the entire franchise was, in fact, the first one, obviously, Dirty Harry. I mean, that kind of goes without saying. But actually, of the sequels that came after the original, Sudden Impact is my favorite of the sequels. So I really like the storyline. I really like the, just the overall premise of it.
It's got the least amount of like in between BS. It's just a violent movie. It's just like it's this movie is pretty much 10 minutes doesn't go by without Clint Eastwood shooting somebody. So we'll talk about it as we get going. But yeah, it's very much like just Dirty Harry going around pulling the trigger on everybody and asking questions later, for sure.
Yeah, he has a case he's investigating, and things aren't what they seem. He's trying to figure out who exactly is committing these crimes and all this kind of stuff. So it's a really good premise. It's a really good cast, and of course, Clint Eastwood leading the charge is never a bad thing.
Yeah.
So, and not only did he star in this movie, this is actually him directing this installment of the Dirty Harry franchise, with this one being Sudden Impact to be more specific. That came out in 1983. Gosh.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a lot of fun. We hope you enjoy it. So if you want to watch the movie along with us and share your favorite memories of this movie or anything that Clint Eastwood has done, whether he's starred in it or whether he's directed, composed, whatever, produced, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. Without any further ado, Austin and I are going to hit that magical button, and we are going to begin what is known as our feature presentation of Sudden Impact in 3, 2, and 1. Hit play.
All right.
Here we go.
That old school Warner Brothers logo, the red one.
That's right. Yeah.
That 80s Warner Brothers logo.
Company. Yeah.
Yeah. Before where they brought in the water tower.
What was it? The Superpowers VHS tapes of Superman and Batman. Yeah. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of movies set in San Francisco anymore.
No.
Really don't. Like San Francisco was real big from like the 60s to the 80s for setting things. Because remember, like Bullet with Steve McQueen is in San Francisco, up and down the hills and all that. And then obviously these Dirty Harry movies are set in and around San Francisco. Some other cop movies, but yeah, the last one, I guess, the last big one I can remember is what, Mrs. Doubtfire and the Full House. Obviously, some of those things in the 90s. It was really the last time we saw a little San Francisco action in some movies.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I guess, Magneto does pull the Golden Gate Bridge, in X-Men.
Alcatraz.
But yeah, we do. Clint Eastwood obviously likes San Francisco. Yeah, Escape from Alcatraz back in the 70s. So we'll see a little bit of like kind of the area of Alcatraz kind of near the beginning of this movie. But this is
it's a good opening with shots of the city and
not bad.
The soundtrack is good too.
Yeah, it's got that 80s like thumping, kind of score to it. Yes, very much like
we noticed that Sandra Locke is in this movie. She's been in a number of Eastwood movies over the years.
Yeah, she's in The Gauntlet. She's in the Every Which Way But Loose movies. She's in Outlaw Josie Wales.
Josie Wales. Yep.
Yeah, they were in a relationship at this time. Yeah, so they were dating.
Yep.
And Ken was his leading lady for a little while. And then she actually said in the interviews later, I was reading that the roles kind of dried up once they broke up because he was the only one casting her in anything really. So nobody really, she kind of got typecasted as like Eastwood's leading lady. So it's kind of unfortunate in that aspect because I think she's pretty decent in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think she's really good in this movie.
Yeah,
good, some good acting here, and also we were talking in the green room earlier before this movie on this movie watch along that Pat Hingle is in this.
Yeah, Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon is a kind of a dirtbag in this movie.
He's also in The Gauntlet, and he's in a Clint Eastwood Western called Hang 'em High. Like he plays a judge in Hang 'em High. Yeah, right. He's bumping around some of those Eastwood movies too. By the way, co-written by Charles B. Pierce, who I knew even before I went back to these movies. He did a Mystery Science Theater 3000 movie called The Legend of Boggy Creek 2. It's one of my favorite episodes of Mystery Science Theater. He directed and stars in that movie. But he was like a Hollywood writer as well. And then when he made his own movies, they were so bad that they were featured on Mystery Science Theater. But it's a great Mystery Science Theater episode if you're a fan. So go see Charles B. Pierce's The Legend of Boggy Creek. It's good. Yes, it's kind of like a bad Bigfoot movie, like, but it's but the Mystery Science Theater episode is hilarious. This episode reminded, like, I went back to this, Ryan, and this reminded me of Zodiac, like, like how, like, those like Zodiac kind of murder scenes, like, are kind of dark. There's always like people in cars on the edge of a cliff or something. This opening is kind of like reminded me of that. I guess maybe that was the last big one that had kind of a San Francisco thing to it, was Zodiac, David Fincher and Zodiac. But yeah, still not a lot of San Francisco movies lately.
No, but yeah, I have seen the movie Zodiac. I have seen that with gosh, you had like everybody in that movie: RDJ, Ruffalo.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
And you had everybody.
Yeah, Roger Rabbit is in that movie.
Oh, Roger Rabbit's in that?
Charles Fleischer is the creepy guy in the basement in that one scene.
Dude, really?
Yeah, it's Roger Rabbit.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that. I haven't seen Zodiac in a hot minute, so that's why I didn't remember.
It's pretty good. My only issue with it is it doesn't really have an ending, because the real life thing didn't have an ending, so it just kind of ends.
Open-ended.
It just kind of ends, and it kind of leaves me cold. But it's a good movie though.
Yeah.
But yeah, this scene is like, you're kind of wondering what's happened here, and he's there's a theme in this movie, the sudden impact to the testicles a lot in this movie will become a running theme.
Exactly. Yeah. Not to get too descriptive, ladies and gentlemen, but yes, certain things do happen.
The male parts take a beating in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll say that becomes her MO.
And it's up to Dirty Harry Callahan to find out why.
Why?
This
whole movie is like Okay Boomer, the police procedural. It's him just going around being like, why can't I just shoot people all the time? What's wrong with that? And then being like, you have to like follow rules, right? He's like, why? I don't like rules. Just
the costumes here kind of remind me of, and this isn't featured heavily in another movie that I'm about to mention here, but it is mentioned, or it is used in the opening title sequence of Living Daylights.
Yeah,
woman with a wide brim hat like that, just looking into the camera. Like smiling. In James Bond's case, it was a woman like smiling, or like she had a pair of shades on. She was on the beach somewhere. It's in the opening title sequence of Timothy Dalton's The Living Daylights, if you know what I mean.
Dirty Harry's got his Terminator sunglasses, Ryan.
That's right. Yeah.
They're the Terminator ones from the first Terminator.
This movie came out 1 year
before that.
The original Terminator did.
Yep, but those are the exact same sunglasses that Arnie wears in the first Terminator. Yeah. Dirty Harry got there first, Ryan. He got there first. The gargoyle sunglasses, I think they're called. Something like that.
Is that what they're called? Gargoyle?
Yeah, I looked them up. They're called like gargoyle sunglasses.
Jeez. How much do they go for nowadays?
I don't know if they're even still made. I'm sure you can buy replicas or something online. I'm sure.
Probably get them off of what? Amazon, eBay, something.
Somebody on Etsy probably makes them.
Oh, Etsy, yeah. Etsy.
Yeah.
But, it's a good avenue for independent content creators.
Just look up Terminator sunglasses.
I probably can just Google it after the show.
The one guy over here, if you're a wrestling fan, looks like Lex Luger for some reason. The one defendant guy.
Oh, the defendant, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, the defendant. When they show him in a second, like he looks like a not jacked Lex Luger.
Yeah.
They'll show him in a second, but like, this
legal search.
Yeah, you obtained it through
the
a
eyes
legal
of the court
search.
does not exist.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of 80s mustaches in this movie too. The one like there's some in the background there. The one attorney guy has one. Yeah.
So Mr. Hawkins is a oh, there he is. I see him.
See the guy on the right. Yeah, he looks like discount Lex Luger. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, I can.
He does, man.
See that. I can. As someone who grew up watching pro wrestling,
he looks like what Lex Luger looks like now. Because if you look up what Lex Luger looks like now, he's got some health issues and things like that. And I'm not making fun of Lex Luger. I'm just saying he looks like him now. Like it's weird.
Bailiff next case.
We got away with it.
Illegal search and seizure, or whatever it was called. This thing's been tossed out, Mr. Callahan.
Mm-hmm. There's rules, Mr. Callahan. And then there's one guy later that I'll point him out when we get there, but he looks like a dollar store Klaus Kinski.
Man, you got observations for everybody.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's not in this. It's one of the guys later. One of the the
One
gang
of the later
guys.
ones.
Yeah. We'll talk about them.
How many times, Callahan? 6 cents doesn't count anymore. You can't just bust them because you think they're dirty.
Because you got a hunch, Callahan. No, this movie, they literally do the thing where that gets make fun of the cop tropes, where it's like, I got the press is gonna have a field day with this, Callahan. I got the mayor breathing down my, like, they literally have scenes like that in this movie.
They've used that so many times. I mean, I remember the scene from TMNT. He's like, just take it easy, okay? He's already got the mayor breathing down my neck.
It's all the stuff in this movie is the stuff they make fun of in like Last Action Hero with the captain in that movie. You know, I got the mayor breathing down. I got the mayor breathing down my neck. I got the county board of commissioners. Blah blah blah. Like, it costs about $1 bazillion worth of damage. You know, like,
dude, that movie is so good.
That movie's awesome.
I love Last Action Hero. I'm one of the few people who really likes it.
No, I love it. It's aged really well, I think.
Yeah,
people have come to appreciate. I don't think people appreciated the time, but when you look back on it's sort of being a send up of like the Lethal Weapon movies and the Shane Black stuff, and because it was written by Shane Black. If you look at it as a send up of like 80s cop tropes, like it totally works. It's really, really good.
And the cameos were funny too. You had Trammell, you had Sharon Stone walking out of the police precinct. You had Robert Patrick.
T-1000. Yeah, I've asked trivia questions about what two movies does Robert Patrick appear as the T-1000 in besides Terminator 2. Do you know?
Yeah, one of them is what is it, Last Action Hero? The other one is Wayne's World.
Wayne's World, exactly. Yeah, that's a trivia question.
Have you seen this boy?
Yeah.
And then Wayne looks at the camera, and then he just
so
runs,
that little
off.
trivia fact there for you. What are the two movies? Last Action Hero and Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. That's right. It's good. It's real good, actually. For those of you just tuning in, this is the 40th anniversary watch along of what is known as Sudden Impact, starring the.
And we're coming up on about the 10-minute mark here, Ryan Permerson. So just about a little shy of 10 minutes here, and we're getting to the first kind of big shootout and attempted diner robbery here. Yeah.
And he can't tell that she's pouring an abundantly
an absurd amount of sugar in there. Yeah, in her coffee.
Amount of something known as sugar in his coffee there. I believe that's.
I like my coffee black, and she put too much sugar in it. Yeah.
Dude, she's
totally trying to like get his attention. He's just not paying attention whatsoever. He's like, hello, sugar.
Even the cook's like, what are you doing back there?
Yeah, the cook saw in his peripherals. She's right in front of him. The cook saw in his peripheral while he was short order cooking behind her. And even he saw it. It's like, bro, pay attention. Come on, Callahan.
Look at that. That was a lot of sugar.
Yeah. You want some coffee with that sugar?
That's a lot of sugar.
No, something's amiss.
Oh, and then see when the sign turns.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's never a good sign. It's like, wait, something's not right. Why would they turn the sign so early? That's ridiculous. Yeah. No one closes a coffee shop that early.
Yeah. See, now these guys were ahead of the curve because remember how in Pulp Fiction they talk about how nobody robs diners and restaurants? These guys are robbing a diner. See, they were ahead of the curve. See, Pumpkin and Honey Bunny should look at Sudden Impact for inspiration. Maybe they did. Maybe they watched it for inspiration. See,
and there's a fun fact: that little movie turns 30 next year.
I know that's going to have to be. You're going to have to do the big three. The big three. You're going to have to do the big three Best Picture nominees from that year. You're going to have to do Shawshank, Forrest Gump, and Pulp Fiction. You're going to have to do all three of those.
Don't know if I can fit all of that in my.
or pick at least one or two of those for sure.
Just keep it clean. Hey, boys, put those guns down.
Yeah.
Say what?
I guess, it took four people to rob this diner.
Walk out.
Why are four people robbing this diner? That doesn't seem like a very, very good for a cut.
Who's we, sucker?
Sucker.
Smith and Wesson.
It's a big-ass gun. Yeah, it's 44.
Boom. Taking these guys out, man. Look, the guy goes
through the window. Yeah.
He went right through the window.
This doesn't seem very safe, though. Like, this would definitely be frowned upon nowadays with police work. Like, no, Harry, you literally escalated the situation immediately instead of de-escalation. You just immediately whipped out your gun and started murdering these dudes. So, yeah, might be frowned upon nowadays.
Man, that's a powerful gun. It's the most powerful handgun in the world.
Yeah, actually, the Smith & Wesson 500, which will come out later, is now the most powerful handgun in the world. Smith & Wesson came out, if you could believe it, a more powerful handgun than the 44. It's called the Smith & Wesson 500. You can look it up. It's ridiculous. The bullets are like the size of your finger. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
There's also a gun called the Judge, Ryan, that shoots shotgun shells. My dad has one. Yeah.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Oh,
The
yeah.
immortal line from the legendary man himself.
The immortal line from the 4th Dirty Harry movie, not the first one. This is the first time he ever says that. It's in the 4th movie.
Yep.
That most people go, "Oh, what movie is that from?" Oh, he says it in Dirty Harry. No, he says it in Sudden Impact.
Sudden Impact. Big difference. Big difference.
Yeah,
He's,
no,
by the way, Sumerian, not Babylonian. Yeah, big difference. No offense, but I got to get my own lawyer.
Yeah.
Which is another movie entirely.
Dirty Harry is the line from that one is the did I fire 5 shots or 6? Do you feel lucky, punk? Yeah,
that's all the original.
Yeah,
that's the first one, not the 4th one.
Mm-hmm.
Now 4, 10, 4.
Yeah, he's gonna get a little talking to
captain or governor, whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look at that, going up the steps into the hotel. Is that who I think it is, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh, shit.
A nothing detail.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do now? Call Captain Breaks. Let him decide. Got himself another suit.
Yep.
It's a nice suit. May I have an invitation, sir?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's my invitation.
Well, I don't understand. Inspector Callahan.
Clint Eastwood was forever. He was just like, he's like Tommy Lee Jones. He was just born 50 years old. No, I mean, Tommy Lee Jones was born 50. Clint Eastwood was born 50. Pat Hingle was like born 50. Just these guys never looked young, even in their younger movies. They just all looked old.
I mean,
John Wayne was born 50.
Dirty Harry looks much the same in the first 3 films because the only difference is his hair changes color as each installment.
I was sad when I rewatched this, Ryan. We only get Frank Pantangeli from Godfather 2 for like 3 minutes here. It's Frank Pantangeli. He's gonna testify against Michael Corleone. Yeah, he's fresh off the Senate hearing.
Men like wine should grow more civilized. Should mellow, but not Callahan. Callahan is the one constant in an ever-changing universe.
I don't know nothing about no Vito Corleone, no Godfather. I don't know about all that. He's great in Godfather too. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just a guy, Very expensive hooker. How expensive in 1983? What classifies as expensive back then? $500?
500, $2,000.
Because nowadays, what, be $10,000? Something like that.
$10,000, 15.
Yeah. Back then, what, $1,000 maybe?
She might have been things down. Maybe she made a copy of it. Maybe she didn't even tell about it when she was being tortured and beaten. Man, he's talking. I can't help but do the impression. I can't help but do the impression because Eastwood's just so good at what he does.
Eastwood is Eastwood, man. It's his thing. He's been doing the same voice for forever. Oh, he's good. Frank's gonna have a heart attack. Oh,
and I believe this is his granddaughter's wedding.
Something like that. All they needed here was a cake for him to fall into, but no cake on his face.
Take the cannoli, leave the gun.
Yeah.
What is it? What happened?
Oh my god!
I'm gonna call an ambulance. Somebody's got to make a phone call. Sorry, Inspector, but Captain, what happened? Somebody grabbed their chest. They must have seen the bill.
Yeah. Whack, whack, whack. See, because this place is expensive.
Must have grabbed the bill. They don't want to pay it.
Yeah. This guy's turning his sunglasses back on.
But it gets serious. Stand back, please. Stand back.
I've been there.
You've been to the shooting locations?
I've been to this place. Yeah, I've been here. We went to San Francisco when my parents when I was about 10.
Oh wow!
But this is like a pretty famous lookout area. We've been here.
Looks nice.
Very famous kind of place you can pull off and take a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge and whatnot. Yeah, I've been here.
Seems like a nice area.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not good. This guy's constantly eating and everything. He's just disgusted. Dude, what are you doing? We're eating a hot dog on a crime scene. What are you doing?
What do you think? This, that, or the other, or an unhappy love affair?
Happy love affair.
Hey, don't tell me this stuff's getting to you. Not Harry Callahan. Say it ain't so.
Yeah.
No, stuff isn't getting to me. Shootings, knivings, beatings. People being bashed in the head for the social security checks.
Kids these days, Ryan, they just got no respect for their elders, That's what every generation says about every generation.
That's not that line about not respecting your elders isn't often said unless you watch Point Break with Gary Busey.
Yeah.
Dropping that line on John C. McGinley.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the movie, not the beginning, but if you remember that scene where Utah is getting arrested, he gets him out of it. He says, "You know what? There's one thing I've learned that 18 years I've been with the Bureau." Oh yeah, and what is that? Enlighten me. And then he just punches him right in the jaw, lands on the floor. Respect for my elders.
Yeah.
Man,
Ryan,
Point Break is a good one.
So they have a little mini debate here. So Ryan, ketchup on a hot dog, yay or nay?
Oh, ketchup on a hot dog. For me, I would say no.
I'd say yeah. Why not? Ketchup's awesome.
I like ketchup on French fries, but not so much a hot dog.
It's the same as a hamburger. It's meat in a bun. What's the difference?
True.
What's the difference? Like, I mean, I get the whole like classic just mustard or whatever, but I think you can put anything on a hot dog. Chili cheese dogs are good.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can. Now, what I won't tolerate is anybody puts like mayonnaise on a hot dog. Like, get the fuck out of here with that.
No.
Get out of here with that. No. I've seen people do that.
What do you think about pickles and relish on a hot dog, though?
I'm not a pickle or relish guy, so like I get it, but I'm just not. I don't like pickles and relish. Like I flavor like, but my dad loves relish.
It's ridiculous.
But, no, onions, chili cheese, mustard, ketchup. I think you're good.
Really?
That's that. Or I mean, not all together. I just mean
not
like
all together.
Those are the acceptable. I guess relish are in there.
Do you put mustard on a pretzel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a hot pretzel with mustard. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But hot pretzels are better with like cheese sauce though, or like queso or something.
Oh, really?
Way better, man. That's a hot thing right now at breweries and stuff. Get like pretzels and queso. It's good. It's really good. Pretzels and beer cheese. just to ensure that your flatulence later are nice and ripe. There's Sandra Locke. She's
So where are you going? Going north. To what?
Her and her sunglasses.
A pair of shades. Like I said, it was 80s fashion.
What is that? A Datsun? What's she driving there? Yeah.
Is it?
It's like a Gremlin or a Datsun. So
I can't tell what she's driving there.
She's got a Datsun.
Oh, is it a Datsun? Okay.
Yeah,
I never heard of that,
Datsun.
by the way.
Datsuns died off in the 80s.
I never heard of that.
You only ever see them in 80s movies.
Never heard of it. I mean, before, anyway.
Yeah.
Need a lift? Oh. Nice little line there, isn't it?
Shove a jack up your ass. Screw you, puta.
More than 30 years of police work.
See, here's the talking to. Yeah, see, Harry, what are you doing, Callahan? What are you doing?
What do you think we're doing? My job. Is it your job to harass and incite an old man into a heart attack?
Yeah.
My job is to investigate homicide. Oh, biggest crime lords on the West. Excuse me, West Coast. That's what he said.
With threats and intimidation, Callahan.
Any way possible.
Yeah.
Are you aware that you have destroyed months of surveillance and intelligence work? We're talking thousands of dollars and hundreds of man hours.
Yeah, but isn't he like dead now though?
Did
he die? Didn't he?
The crime boss? Yeah.
Yeah. So like, what's the problem?
I don't see what.
Crime boss is dead, and he didn't like physically like shoot him or anything. He just like keeled over like a heart attack, right? So what's the problem? I mean, I get that you wanted to like make a case or whatever, but if the dude's dead, like what if the dude had just died of natural causes like outside of all this? Like, are you gonna yell at God? We put thousands of dollars into this case. Damn it. You just let him have a heart attack.
Then you get the in between person. Gentlemen, that's enough. Your methods are questionable, but often your successes are more costly to the city and the department.
Yeah, this is literally the stuff they make fun of in like parody movies of like the captain giving the dressing down to the cop.
It's funny to me that Frank McRae goes from playing Bond's friend in License to Kill with Timothy Dalton back in '89. And then just a couple years later, he's playing the police captain of Jack Slater.
Here's the thing. He had played that almost the exact same character though in Action Jackson with Carl Weathers.
Oh,
in
that I haven't
seen. In like '88, he plays that like angry police chief guy, and then he plays and makes fun of it in both Last Action Hero and Loaded Weapon 1. He also plays like the police captain. Yeah. So he kind of parodies himself in two different parody movies of because he's the perfect sort of like big angry captain guy, like just yelling at everybody. But no, he literally does that same role in Action Jackson.
I've never seen it. Action Jackson, I mean.
Action Jackson's fun. It's Carl Weathers being, 80s cop. Like it's a good time. Yeah.
All right.
It's I'm not gonna say it's like a masterpiece, but it's a fun like 80s cop movie. Like
maybe one of these days I'll sit down and watch that
with some prime 80s Weathers, when he was still like doing his thing,
back in the Predator days.
Predator days, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's looking good. His hair's nice in that movie. Yeah. He's got a he looks good on the cover. He's got like just posing with the gun or whatever.
Got a Carl Weathers fan over here.
Hey man, I like Carl Weathers. I haven't met him at a convention yet. I'd like to.
Yeah, I'd like to as well. Yeah, for sure.
Love me some Carl Weathers. Well, she's going to visit Michael Myers here, staring out the window. Oh, I mean, sorry, her sister.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
It's like the same thing as like Donald Pleasance looking at the kid, in Halloween, staring out the window. Catatonic kid.
Hmm. I'm trying to think. There was. I know it's not the same person because these are two different. What is it called? Actresses. Because this one here who's playing Sandra Locke's sister looks like the little girl, just more grown up, that played the leading lady's best friend in the family film Prancer.
Oh, Prancer's been a minute since I watched that. I used to come on TV a lot though.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen that movie in a minute.
Oh, yeah. When did I rewatch that? I think I rewatched it like sometime earlier this year. I think it was because I think it was streaming on like Tubi or something.
Yeah,
Tubi.
I'm looking at the cast right now to see like. Because last name's Spencer, so I'm looking for the other Spencer girl.
Spencer.
Because the main chick, Sandra Locke, is Jennifer Spencer.
I don't remember.
Unless she just has like a first name in the credits, and I'm trying to find it, but
is it?
I don't know.
I saw one just appeared on
see a picture of her.
As she said. Oh gosh, the little girl who played the leading girl's best friend was actually I don't think it was Candace Cameron.
What's the sister's name though? Is it Leah?
Oh shoot.
Oh, Elizabeth. Oh, I see the picture of her. Okay, so this is Lisa Britt playing Elizabeth, and I'm clicking on her to see she only did 2 movies. Just this and some TV movie called The Haunting Passion. That's it.
Oh jeez.
So she literally did like nothing. Yeah, this is like her.
And then
this is her movie. Oh, this is all she did, and she died at 43 at 99.
Oh, man, that's sad.
Yeah, something. So
sorry to hear that for that actress, by the way.
Yeah. That sucks. But no, I guess this is it. Yeah, she does kind of look like some. I don't know. She kind of looks like an older version of like Carol Ann from Poltergeist or something.
Oh yeah,
that looks like an older like Heather O'Rourke or something.
That's another one. Yeah, the little girl from Poltergeist. Man, that performance was, that was good.
Yeah.
It's chilling, but that was the point.
Sandra Locke looks like somebody too, but I can't point it. I'll get it by the end of this thing, like what she looks like. She looks like somebody else.
Yeah, the little girl did a great job in Poltergeist. Oh my gosh, so good in that. I mean, as soon as she turns to the camera and says the magic words, "They're here." I mean, that's just.
Yep.
And that's that just takes me. It's like, oh boy, this movie just got very interesting when I was watching Poltergeist for the. I saw it years ago. This is going back years ago, but
Yeah.
when she turns to her family and because they're wondering what their daughter's doing with the static on the television set, and she's just like, they're here, and I'm like, oh boy, this is about to get real creepy real fast.
Oh, time to put a hit on Callahan. Here we go.
Tires screeching.
Yeah. What the hell's going on here?
Oh, he's got his 44 Magnum. There it is.
Yeah.
It's going again. Wait a minute. There's no holes in that car. Oh, but there's machine gun fire in his. Okay.
Yeah.
They came prepared. Never mind.
By the way, cars are not bulletproof, but
no, they're
I'm
not.
just saying, I that kind of bugs me in movies sometimes when they just hide behind like a door. Like that's very thin metal with like plastic on the inside of it. It's not bulletproof. But again, I'm not like a gun nut, but I'm very like familiar with guns. Like I do own some, and I go to ranges and stuff. So like gun things in movies, like sometimes like tropey gun stuff, like bothers me.
They make
like,
fun, they make fun of that in Last Action Hero because when Jack is firing at the limousine, was the guy with the glass eye? I forget his name. What's the character name? I can't remember.
Oh, it's Charles. Yeah,
Benedict.
Yeah, but Charles Dance. Yeah.
Yeah. But he looks, or he's in the car, and he says, "Next time we'll get thicker armor with a tank."
Right. Yeah,
like a tank.
But like in this stuff, like when they go here in a minute to like shoot up the little dumpster thing or whatever it is, the dude with the Uzi fires for like 10 seconds straight, and those Uzis are 9mm Uzis, and they only hold like 20 bullets. Like that, he would be empty almost immediately. Like it just bugs me when they shoot forever with these things.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'll point out another thing that bugs me with a shotgun later. That really bothers me, but I'll point that out later.
I feel like this is going to be the watch along where we just hear all the complaints from our co-hosts.
It's just about like little gun things. That's all. This movie's good. This movie's fun.
Minor complaints. But anyway, for those of you wondering what the Bantha fodder is going on, this is the 40th anniversary watch along of what is known as Sudden Impact, the fourth installment within the Dirty Harry franchise, starring the one and only Clint Eastwood. I'm your host, Ryan of And I Quote, also joined by our good friend Austin. And Austin, where are we in the film?
We're about 10 seconds away from the 30-minute mark, Ryan. So we're right about the 30-minute mark here.
So if you want to queue up your copy on a physical media or what is known as a streaming service, please do so and watch the movie along with us. If you have a favorite moment from this movie or any movie that Clint Eastwood has either starred in or he's produced or directed or composed, anything like that, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. And don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know.
Oh, he's going to pop out of the barrel, though. See, he wasn't in there.
Oh, that was
there's another shot. Boom.
Whoa.
Boom, boom.
That was a barrel. I think he just...
I feel like the Man with No Name would have taken him out way faster, though. He would have popped it, pop, 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 pop. Like he would have...
Yeah, that's true.
Dirty Harry's a little slower on the trigger than the Man with No Name.
Oh, someone's trying to run away here.
Yeah.
He's trying to get away.
It is kind of funny, like watching Clint Eastwood run in this movie because he's not like the best jogger. It's just kind of
he doesn't run. He doesn't fake run as well as Tom Cruise.
No, he's kind of leisurely jogs. When he needs to go chase after somebody.
He's the best actor to ever run. You think it's Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise is up there. Yeah, I mean, just because it's become like a thing with him where he has to do a full-on sprint in every movie. Robert Patrick, speaking of Robert Patrick, is really good in T2. Like his run is awesome. Like when he's chasing after Eddie Furlong on the motorcycle. Where he famously caught up with him multiple times because he was so proficient at running that he was faster than the dirt bike. Yeah, that's some pretty good movie running. Yeah, some movie running.
If you got any more, feel free to raffle.
I mean, Tom Hanks does a lot of jogging, in Forrest Gump. It's a lot of movie running.
Going on. I was running.
His football running is pretty efficient, in that movie for Alabama. Yeah.
That's fair.
But I feel like Tom Cruise kind of takes the crown, at least for right now.
Robert Patrick's run in T2. Man, I should go back and revisit that.
Yeah, he literally studied. He's talked about like the way to pump his arms, like a scientific way to do it to like get maximum running efficiency. Like he put a lot of work into that role. Like because he was a robot, so he's like, what would a robot do? Robot would have like a perfect technique, right, for maximum speed on foot, and like that's what he does. So there's his 44 auto. Yeah, man, it's a hell of a gun.
Here.
Yeah, it's a big gun.
It's a big, big gun. Well, if you remember the little film known as Wayne's World 2, when Garth looks into Kim Basinger's purse. Whoa, that's a really big gun. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say this guy who's entering the scene, the Horace guy, his like buddy.
Yeah,
he's in like all the Dirty Harry movies, but he plays a different character in every movie. It's a running gag.
Oh, no kidding.
He plays like a pimp in one of them. He plays a guy named Mustafa in another one. He just plays like a random bank robber in another one. He always plays a different character, but he's always in every single one of them.
Wow,
it's weird.
I did not know that.
It's like a running gag. Like, so in this one, he just plays. I guess he gave him a little bit bigger part. Yeah, he let him play a good guy this time instead of like a scumbag.
And now he's carrying something.
He's got a Smith & Wesson 12 gauge.
Smith and Wesson and me. We're not just gonna let you walk out of here. Some good lines there in that opening action sequence.
Yeah,
I really like it. It's one of my favorites.
No, that's a good one. Oh, hey, easy there.
Hey, take it easy. I'm the good guy, remember? Good morning, Horace. Sweet sister Sadie, where did you get that? Had it a while. Just thought I'd get used to it.
You know it's going to be a good gun when it's put in like a very fancy like mahogany case.
Yeah.
When they pulled it out of, with a nice, place to set it, like a carved out little area to put it down. That's a really expensive gun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at him. He's going to try it out with his 12 gauge.
Yeah.
Ooh, jeez.
Hey, 12 gauge is, you got to, I have a 12 gauge. If you'd like me, I'd show it off on camera, but I'm not going to do that.
Jeez.
But yeah, I have a pistol.
Gunsmith show.
Yeah, right. My Ruger 9mm is in there. I have my
Dirty Harry 40th anniversary.
I have my 38 revolver in the drawer over here.
Jeez, man.
Hey, you got to strategically place them all over the house for the zombie apocalypse, brother.
I was gonna say
your gun, Ryan, is only as good till the next gun that you can get to. Your better gun.
Man, you're ready for that zombie apocalypse from what's it called, Zombieland or Dawn of the Dead.
You need the one to get to the other one. That's strategery.
What was the name of the? Oh gosh. Well, what was I gonna say? Well, first of all, I don't know how you feel about this genre, or not this genre, more like a franchise, and I think it's still going, if I remember correctly, or maybe I'm wrong. What are your feelings on The Purge? You like some of the things that happened in The Purge, or some of the weapons used?
The Purge Anarchy is the best movie out of the series. I always contend that.
Okay.
That's the second one.
Right?
The second one with Frank Grillo as the Punisher, essentially. And it's awesome.
Punisher.
No, he's basically playing the Punisher, and he's great. He would have made a good Punisher. But yeah, that's the best movie. As far as like the concept or what they do in it.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing I've always said about The Purge that's weird. So let's say The Purge was real, Ryan, and then there really was a Purge night, and nobody, for whatever reason, nobody ever committed a crime on any night other than Purge night, which seems highly unlikely, by the way, that people would just not commit crime.
That's wishful thinking, yeah.
The other 364 days a year that like nobody would rob a liquor store or get an altercation
XYZ,
or shoot somebody, like whatever. Anyways, so let's just theoretically say it works, right? Now, you know how like in those movies there's always like a scene where somebody tries to kill like a family member they don't like even in Purge Anarchy, like one of them tries to like shoot the other family member. Okay, so you get away with it, right? Theoretically, because you can't be charged. Wouldn't that make for a pretty awkward next Thanksgiving though dinner of like, oh hey, by the way, yeah, you got away with it, Sandra, but you shot Aunt Marie, at the table last year. Yeah, we don't really want you around anymore. I mean, like you still have to live with the fact that you killed somebody, like and you wouldn't face legal consequences, but like. Especially if it was somebody you knew or they knew you, like the person would still know you killed them. Like it's not like you can't erase that or they just ignore it. So that's what I've always thought was weird about those movies. It's like, yeah, sure you can do it, but that's.
Boy, that took us off to a different direction, didn't it?
Well, yeah, just a quick discussion about The Purge. Like I think it'd be pretty. Because
I noticed latest installment, The Forever Purge, just dropped on streaming services. So
I haven't gotten to that one yet, but yeah, it's not my favorite franchise, but I do watch Purge Anarchy. I go back to that one a lot. That's probably the best use of the concept and the best like individual characters.
I believe Frank Grillo, and isn't Kelly Sanchez in that too?
Yeah, there's The one guy, like the main guy who gets like stuck with his girl, like he's been in some movies too. I can't remember his name. Like the
I believe
couple.
it's Zach Guilford, I think.
Yeah, he's been in some
Yeah,
stuff.
Friday Night Lights, man.
Yeah, he's a Friday Night Lights guy. Yeah, Jordan's a big fan of Jordan Anderson's a big fan of Friday Night Lights, the TV show.
Oh, I love that show.
He loves that show. Yeah,
One
it's
of the
one of his favorite
best.
shows ever. Yeah.
Clear eyes, full hearts can't lose, Austin.
Mm-hmm.
They can never lose.
Yep. We're about to get the really scummy flashback here, which is what's like
in this movie known as Sudden Impact, Sandra Locke's character is on a quest for something known as revenge. Because we all have that feeling as human beings that we want revenge on something or someone, whatever it is. And now we're about to get what is known as a flashback sequence to find out just exactly what happened to her all those years ago and why she is on the path that she is now.
Yeah, we won't go into detail about what happens in this flashback, but let's just say she had some very unsavory things done to her on a boardwalk. Let's just say by a gang of gentlemen. So, yeah.
There was an opening sequence to a film that believed took place on a boardwalk just like this, which is called Lost Boys.
Yeah, and the amusement park. Yeah, I miss like seeing these like beachside boardwalk amusement parks. I always thought they looked like fun. And I've never really been to one, but the one in Lost Boys
uses it to good effect.
Yeah, no, it looks good at the nighttime with all the stuff lit up.
Great cast too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You want to talk about great cast of the '80s? I mean, just look at the Lost Boys. Jeez. Mm-hmm. Death by Stereo.
The Coreys. Yeah, you got Kiefer Sutherland, some Jason Patrick,
Jamie
Gertz from Twister, one of my favorites. Yeah.
By the way, Jamie Gertz just is so beautiful in like every movie she's in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well done, Jamie Gertz.
Mm-hmm. Diane Wiest.
Oh, Diane Wiest, yeah.
Edward Herrmann, who passed away a few years ago, but he was a great character actor. He's Mr. Rich and Richie Rich. He's Richie Rich's dad.
Oh, that's right, dude.
Yeah. That's where I mostly. Yeah, no, he passed away a few years ago, but yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Very recognizable.
And he's done a ton in his
Dude, he's been in a million movies. Yeah, he's one of those character actors who's just in everything.
Oh, he's been in so much, man.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. Man, I miss it. Rest in peace, kind sir. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Especially the Rich movie because I grew up watching it all the time.
Oh, I live 15 minutes from the Rich family mansion, the Biltmore estate.
Are you serious?
Where they filmed that, yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I made a video on my Facebook probably 5 or 6 years ago where I did a series of videos right outside of the place because it's a place called the Biltmore Estate. You can look it up. They filmed several movies there. There was recently a Hallmark Christmas movie called A Biltmore Christmas that just premiered. So that was filmed in and around there.
Yeah, that was recent too.
But the movie My Fellow Americans with Jack Lemmon.
I remember that.
Some of that stuff was filmed around there. But yeah, mainly Richie Rich. All the shots of the big mansion are the Biltmore Estate from there, and then they can only film in certain rooms inside of it. Yeah, so you can take a tour inside of it, and you're not supposed to take pictures, but I snapped a few little ones. But they filmed inside the dining hall, like the big giant dining room is the actual giant dining room. There's a billiards room that they're shooting pool in one scene. John Le Carré is, and that's a real room in there. And then there's a library sort of area that they filmed in, and everything else was set pieces. Like all of Keen, there's no Keen Bean Lab in the basement.
No McDonald's.
No, there's no McDonald's. None of that. But they filmed a few things, and all the exterior stuff of the mansion is all real though. That's all the real Biltmore. So, but I know I live 15 minutes from that. It's right here outside of Asheville. Yeah,
it's awesome,
right
man.
There. I also live 15 minutes from the heavyweights camp.
Camp Hope.
Camp Hope, yeah.
Get out of here.
I did a video over there too. We snuck on there in wintertime. Me and my mom drove out there, and there was all they had was just a little chain. There was no gate. There was just one of those chains, So we parked out there and we walked inside, and it was the wintertime. There was nobody there. And I took some pictures and video of the lake where they had the blob. The blob wasn't there, but it was the lake and the main courtyard area, the kind of sloped courtyard where they're doing all the workouts at the beginning of that movie, and where they have the food orgy essentially, at the end of the movie. So I filmed all that stuff. Looks exactly the same. It's not called Camp Hope, obviously, it's some other camp, but it's still an active camp. And they were just filming a new movie there that's coming out next year. Some movie, I don't know what the title is yet, but there was articles about it here with Kathy Bates and Alfred Woodard and somebody else did a movie at that same camp. So it's supposed to be something where it's a back and forth thing where they reunite and relive their childhood at the camp. So it's going to have some scenes of them as kids, but some scenes of them but as adults. But the catering guy for that movie was coming into my Publix, my grocery store, every morning and buying all this stuff every morning. So every morning for like a month, he bought like 12 bags of ice and all these sodas and waters and like chips and stuff. Like he came in at the same time, like 7:30 every morning, and bought all this stuff. And he told me about it. He's like, "Oh yeah, they're filming a movie down at the camp." He's like, and I was like, "Is it the same camp they did Heavyweights?" He's like, "Oh yeah, it totally is." So there's another movie at the same camp coming out at some point. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Yeah. So sorry, that's Austin's nearby filming locations thing as this car is on fire. As we're totally in this car. Oh, also there's some stuff from the Hunger Games filmed nearby me. Also the original one. There's the scene where PETA totally camouflages himself by the waterfall.
Oh, that scene, yeah.
That's a place called Triple Falls. I've hiked next nearby. It's like 20 minutes from me. Yeah, so you can hike there and see that location as well. And they have a Dirty Dancing film festival where they film Dirty Dancing not far from there as well.
Did you take pictures of that area where they film Hunger Games?
Yeah. I've got pictures of that.
Dude, send me over that stuff.
If I can find it, I'd have to dig deep into my Facebook archives.
Send me like those videotapes or those
pictures.
pictures.
I have to.
You're going to send me a DM later. But as far as Sudden Impact celebrating its 40th anniversary is concerned, Clint Eastwood has just escaped another near-death experience with a group of guys.
Molotov cocktails in his car.
Trying to kill him off here as he has been benched from detective work. His commanding officer has said, listen, too much is going on. You need to lay low for a while, and then we'll figure stuff out when you get back in about a week.
This is happening at the 44-minute mark, by the way, is where we're at.
Yes, 44-minute mark. So if you want to queue up your copy on a physical media or a streaming service, please go ahead and do so. Watch the movie along with us. Share your favorite memories of Clint Eastwood, whether it's from this movie or some of the other things he's done or some of the other projects he's taken part in over the years. Let us know. Love to hear from you. And if this is your first time here, welcome, and we thank you for being with us.
Yeah, so he's going to get sent off to, what is it, like San Paulo or something like that, whatever they call it in this movie, like wherever Pat Hingle is. Because I was watching this movie last night. I was like, when does Pat Hingle show up? Like, where is he? I saw him like third billed in the credits. Like, where's he at? And he finally shows up here in a few minutes as the, sorry. Sorry, my roommate was making a ruckus.
Okay, I was wondering what was going on back there, but anyway. So Harry Callahan's going on to take a bit of a vacation, maybe do some investigating of his own on the other side of, what is it? Not San Francisco, but
it's like San Paulo or something, whatever they call it,
something like that. Small town outside of San Francisco. I can't remember.
Yeah, but they say he's on vacation though, but he's like still on duty. He's like showing up for work, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's a bit awkward.
So which one is it? Because he's like going into the police station. They say like, "Here's your desk," but he's supposed to be on vacation. Why wouldn't he just be on vacation?
It's kind of strange how they go about making decisions in this movie.
Yeah,
I don't understand it sometimes. Oh, look, I think someone's about to commit another crime in the middle of a small town.
Like I said, you can't go 10 minutes in this movie, Ryan, without him encountering some bad guy and shooting up the place. It's like literally every 10 minutes of this movie.
Is this guy trying to steal it? I think he's trying to steal the car. Oh, he stole money.
No, he just like robbed a jewelry store. So he's
is that what it was?
Yeah. He sees him, like he hears the alarm at the jewelry store and he's running. And now, you're gonna get some Clint Eastwood running here. Watch this. He's not as efficient as running as Tom Cruise. Let's put it that way. He doesn't have as good a technique. He's not pumping his arm. You got to pump your arms.
Come on, man. You know how to run, Clint Eastwood? You know how to run.
Come on, you're only 56. Come on, make it happen.
Is he 56 in this movie?
Something like that, yeah. Because he's like 96 now.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Literally, he's like 95 or 96 now. Yeah, he's still doing his thing, but like he's old now. Yeah, he's literally like in his 90s,
which is crazy.
And he's still making movies. He's got another movie coming out soon.
Do we know the name of that movie?
I don't know. I just saw an article about it, about like who's in it. I'm looking it up right now. It's Juror Number 2. So it's Nicholas Hoult and J.K. Simmons.
Ooh.
And Kiefer Sutherland and Toni Collette.
Oh, Kiefer Sutherland's in it? Oh,
yeah. So, yeah, it's called Juror Number 2. He's making like a legal drama, like a courtroom drama. Interesting.
Sounds good.
Well, they better all get it on the first take. Old one take Eastwood. So he's shooting in Atlanta right now. Yeah. So there you go.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Well, that's where all the movies are shooting right now. Atlanta's like the new Hollywood because of the tax breaks there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, dude's still cranking out movies. He cranks them out quick because, like I said, he's notorious for only doing like one or two takes for everything. So they do rehearsals and stuff, but then when it comes time to shoot, it's like you got like 2 takes, brother, get it done, and done, moving on. So he cranks those movies out, man.
What are some of your favorite Eastwood movies
I
aside from
mean,
the Dirty Harry ones?
well, the one I'm wearing right now is For a Few Dollars More, which is my favorite of his westerns.
Nice.
For a Few Dollars More is great, and we talked about it a little bit before we went live, but I contend that it's better than The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. And you said you were on board with that sentiment as well. I just think it's a cleaner, quicker, tighter movie with better character stuff, and I just think that movie's pretty damn flawless. Like I think it's one of the greatest westerns ever. Hello, Josie Wales is great. That's really, really good as well. I love High Plains Drifter. That movie's excellent. I mean, I like most of his westerns. I'm mostly western. I have a weird love of Blood Work. This movie he did in 2002. This like kind of procedural he did. Like it's not a great movie, but it's a guilty pleasure of just like watching Eastwood just do his thing in like older age as like a private detective. It's an issue movie. And then I love Gran Torino. Gran Torino is great.
Oh, I actually just saw Gran Torino for the first time.
Gran Torino is awesome. It's
Earlier
great.
this year.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I actually ended up liking it for like different. I mean, obviously it's a different kind of film, but it's a good movie for a lot of different reasons. So I finally saw Gran Torino. Everybody, you can cross that one off my.
There you go. Yeah,
it's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah, no, it's very, very good. I mean, it's literally like Get Off My Lawn Eastwood, but it's it's good. Get off my lawn. Unforgiven's great. Obviously, Unforgiven's really good. I really like Escape from Alcatraz. My dad showed me a long time ago. Like that movie's awesome. With rest in peace, Fred Ward is in that movie. Recently, my boy from Tremors.
Tremors, baby.
Yeah, and then I mentioned. There's a World War II movie called Where Eagles Dare, which has some inspiration for the game Wolfenstein in it. Because there's like a whole sequence where they're escaping like a Nazi castle, and it was kind of an inspiration for Wolfenstein. Wow. I have a print of Where Eagles Dare, and on the other side of my room, and For a Few Dollars More, and then next to that is Dave the Earth Stood Still and Godzilla the original. So I have like a little collage thing.
A gift for you. Enjoy, Horace. He gives Harry Callahan a
dog. Yeah, that he calls like what, Meathead. Meathead. Or I thought when he first showed up, he looked like Adam Sandler's dog that went on Letterman with a couple times called Meatball, and I was like, is he gonna call him Meatball? And he literally calls him Meathead. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not far off. He calls him Meathead.
By the way, this is a Clint Eastwoodism that he drops in. He drops like an Eastwoodism in every Dirty Harry movie, and in this one he just happens to drop the word swell.
Swell.
It says that a number of times in this movie.
I feel like every line is an Eastwoodism in this movie, where it's just that
the word swell is hardly ever used in motion pictures or television projects unless they're from that era. So for him to use it in an 80s movie, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And now he's jogging with the dog.
Yeah.
He's what would you call it earlier? You said it casually jogging.
Yeah, he kind of casually,
which is what he's doing now. Oh, but Sandra Locke's on a bicycle, I believe. That's a beach cruiser, isn't it?
It's a beach cruiser. I used to have one of those.
I had one of those.
I had a beach cruiser.
Oh, did you?
I had to ride one to work for a while when my car got like into an accident. But luckily at the time I was still in Jacksonville and I lived like 2 minutes from my work, so I was able to ride a bike. But I bought a beach cruiser from a pawn shop.
Huh.
Yeah.
Beach cruisers are nice to have around.
Yeah, no, it's nice to have any bicycle. Bicycle's the best mode of transportation in a zombie apocalypse, by the way. According to Max Brooks of the Zombie Survival Guide, who I've met in person.
Jeez, using a bicycle is the best form of transportation. All right.
Well, because you can go off road with them, especially a good mountain bike. They don't require any gasoline. They're quiet, so they don't attract attention. And if there's ever a hazard, you can simply, especially if you get a lightweight like titanium one, you can simply get off your bike, pick it up, and walk around the hazard and put it back down.
Oh.
So because if you're in a car, if you're on a highway or something, and there's a blockade or a bunch of cars, you can't get around it. And also cars obviously run on gasoline are very loud. Your next best option, if you have something with gas, but that's still nimble, is a dirt bike that can go off road. because at least you can go off roads with dirt bikes and get around hazards and whatnot. So just keep that in mind for the zombie apocalypse. Either a mountain bike or a dirt bike are your best options.
Bike or dirt. Okay.
Yeah, travel light.
Travel light, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Have
your bug out bag and travel light.
That's always have a bicycle on hand. If you get into a sticky situation, it never hurts to have a bicycle that you can use for transportation around your area or wherever you may be. So let me just put it to you.
Hey, I've got a lot of mountain roads and stuff around me, so like you got to be able to hit those like dirt roads, and what better than a mountain bike or something, Not every car is going to be able to, navigate certain terrain and whatnot. So you gotta be careful with that.
I had a mountain bike growing up, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Good times.
This, by the way, getting back to this movie, this looks like the scummiest bar like ever. Look at that red lighting. That's terrible lighting for a bar. Like, what are we doing? Like, what's a blood red bar besides vampires?
Oh, jeez. This movie came out. What is it? Was this before or after? What year did Lost Boys come out?
87.
Oh, so this was before Lost Boys.
Before that. Yeah, way before Blade.
Man.
Yeah.
Jeez. Can't believe it, man.
It has another one of those tropes that I hate in movies where he just goes up to the thing and just orders a beer, but he just says beer or draft or whatever he says. Like, it's like, you do know we have like multiple beers, right? You want to be a little more specific about what beer do you want? Yeah, there's different taps, different bottles. Yeah, how about you be more specific? I hate that in movies where they just say like, give me a beer. Like, what beer? Like, beers are very different. An IPA is not the same as a Pilsner. It's not the same as a traditional American lager. Like, they're all different. So yeah, you get this lady. What's her name? She pops up. I looked her up. This kind of like skeevy lady that sort of runs the show. She's really annoying, and she's hitting on Eastwood here. I looked her up. She does nothing but play nurses in movies. It's really weird, like on TV shows. But Eastwood just brushes her off, which is funny. Go ahead, you might get lucky. He calls her. He says only with humans. He literally just called her an animal. Just like Eastwood to go into this little bar and just kick a woman in the ass and knock her down. Stir up a bunch of shit. Typical bartender. You looking for trouble, pal? What's going on everywhere? The bar where everybody knows everybody. But yeah, that trope annoys me in movies. The just ordering the beer, that annoys me. We talked about some of the police tropes in this movie that kind of annoy me. Again, I'm not shitting on the movie. I still like this movie. It's just those typical things you see in every movie. But yeah, the bar where everybody knows everybody. Oh yeah, Discount Klaus Kinski is coming up. Talked about earlier. He's the very like Weasley guy of the group. He looks exactly like Klaus Kinski, who was in For a Few Dollars More, by the way. So there's a little bit of an Eastwood connection. He plays one of Indio's little henchman guys with the literal hunchback on his back. Colonel Mortimer Lee Van Cleef strikes a match on his beard. It's a funny scene. I was talking about Discount Klaus Kinski for a second, Ryan.
Oh.
But I said real Klaus Kinski is in For a Few Dollars More, so there's an Eastwood connection.
Oh.
He plays one of Indio's henchmen. He's the guy with the hunchback in that movie.
Yeah. I'm not used to seeing who is it? Pat Hingle with no mustache.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a mustache in Hang 'Em High either. Like he didn't for most of his movies. I think that was like a later thing. Yeah. I don't think he has one in Maximum Overdrive a couple years later either. The Stephen King movie with
Stephen King.
Yeah, he plays the diner like manager guy in that movie, and he's always angry in all of his movies. He constantly is just like pissed off at the world in every movie because Maximum Overdrive, he's an asshole to Emilio like the entire movie.
Jeez, what are you trying to do? Blow the collar? I'm in charge here, not Carl Grissom.
Not Carl Grissom.
This is Commissioner Gordon. I want him taken alive.
I repeat, any man who open fire on Jack Napier will answer to me. No, he's the best in the later movie. Batman.
Oh my god! He's like, Who is this guy? I don't know. Until we find out, keep a lid on it. Oh gosh, man, that original
Who's in
movie has so
charge?
many
A
good
card,
lines.
sir. Oh my God! All right, let's go. Let's go.
He's like, come on, son, let's go.
Come on, let's go.
I don't remember who that officer's name was that he's talking to in that
Yeah.
scene at the mansion,
Mhm.
but man, there's so many great lines. I mean, there's just endless.
Dude,
endless
that whole movie, I swear, if we do it, it's just gonna be nothing but us quoting along with the entire goddamn movie. Because I could quote Batman '89 literally from start to finish,
See,
like every
you and I
single
can do the
line.
exact same thing.
We could quote the entire movie right now. It's great. That movie's so awesome.
Because I love it. Because you and I love it so much. That's
Yeah,
the
it's
thing.
because it's the best Batman movie, and it's awesome.
I love it. It's so good. So good. Yeah. But, hey, Cart, think about the future.
Thanks for saving the day, Batman. I'm sure the circus gang is back.
Yeah, we couldn't caught up with Max Shrek, but where is that insufferable son of a
bitch?
Yeah. By the way, do you watch Batman Returns every Christmas?
I'll put it on. It's not my favorite Batman movie.
No, it's not. It's a Tim Burton movie. It's just not a Batman.
It's a Tim Burton villain movie that features Batman. Yeah, because Batman is not the focus of that movie whatsoever. He's way more interested in Catwoman and Penguin in that movie. Even Christopher Walken to a degree. But yeah, like I mean, it has that wintry vibe. We just did a Christmas adjacent tournament last night on Tournament Fights. So yeah, Batman Returns was in there because it is a Christmas adjacent movie for sure. But
some people consider it a Christmas movie.
No, I have a literal like it's not nearby, but I have just a CD folder that literally has all my Christmas movies in it. I just put all the Blu-rays in there. Well, just because it's easier to like rather than taking them in and out every Christmas, like I just kept all the Christmas discs in like one little thing that I could. Well, just because when I go to visit family or where I can just take that with me if we want to watch a Christmas movie. So I have like all 30 of them or whatever, just in one thing, and we can just pick one. It's just way more convenient because most of those movies I don't watch outside of that anyways, other than Die Hard or something. But yeah, which I'm gonna go see in theaters tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, they're having that in theaters tomorrow.
Regal has it, and I don't know if it's the same with this dude just got shot in the dick, by the way. Same as all the other guys. But no, my Regal and a lot of Regals, I don't know if the other chains are doing it, but they've just got Die Hard just playing in like a regular rotation all this week, like regular showtimes. It's pretty awesome. Like as a week.
Good for you. Gives you an opportunity.
I saw it in theaters about 2 years ago. There was an indie theater that played it for Christmas, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm gonna go watch that. I have a T-shirt I wore last night on the Tournament Fights. It's a kind of it looks like an ugly sweater, but it's a T-shirt, and it says Die Hard is my favorite Christmas movie. So I had it on last night. You can go to the Movie Hero Network and see what it looks like.
Jeez, man.
See, again, we can't go 10 minutes without Clint Eastwood shooting somebody. He just caused trouble in the bar. Now he's shooting guys in the motel.
I thought you had an ugly Christmas sweater that says, I have a machine gun.
Ho. I don't have one of those yet.
Ho.
Not yet.
He won't be joining us for the rest of his life.
Ladies and gentlemen.
There's a couple things we could say about that one. Jeez.
But yeah, you think you're gonna win, Mr. Cowboy? Mr. Cowboy.
You're a pretty good cowboy yourself, Hans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Guys like Rambo, John Wayne. I was always a favorite of Roy Rogers myself.
What was it you said to me before? Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then he just starts laughing, and then he just all ball out laughing. Yeah. And then finally, like, goodbye, Hans. And then
Happy trails, Hans.
Happy trails, Hans.
I know. We got to be careful. We're just start quoting Die Hard for an hour.
Yeah,
Die Hard's awesome.
We all know that you're going to be watching it. What is it, tomorrow? And then
yeah.
If I feel like it later this week or next week or whatever it is, maybe I'll put that on. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, you have to at least once.
I haven't seen Die Hard in a long time.
You have to put it on for Christmas, man. It's great. They play "Christmas in Hollis" by Run DMC, the greatest Christmas song of all time. Come on.
I should probably revisit it because I do have the collection on both DVD and Blu-ray.
You mean this collection?
Oh, mine has a different. Mine's a steelbook cover. Mine's a steelbook.
Gotcha.
Where did I get the steelbook again? Oh yeah, Best Buy. I got it at Best Buy.
Yeah.
They
This
had
one
like a
does.
5-film collection.
Okay, never mind. This one, well, this is an older one. It's still a Blu-ray collection, but this one doesn't have doesn't have a Good Day to Die Hard in it, which is totally fine with me, by the way.
Yeah, that movie, that one never happened.
Which even though it's terrible because I'm a completionist asshole, I still have it on Blu-ray.
You still have it? Why don't you just throw that in the garbage bin?
Because I'm a completionist, dude. Like I have everything. Have you seen this? I have everything. I own everything.
Do you ever watch Good Day to Die Hard though?
No, ever. I don't think I've watched it since I saw it in the theater. No.
Jeez.
The other ones I'll watch. I like the other 4.
Yeah, same here.
I really like Live Free or Die Hard. I think that movie's really underrated.
Yeah,
But
dude. See, once again,
it's
you and I are
underrated.
the same wavelength.
That movie's great. It's underrated. It's Die Hard versus it's John McClane versus technology. It's great.
But let me ask you this though: does the unrated cut make a difference though?
He just drops one extra. There's one extra scene when he's talking to Justin Long, and it's after the Kevin Smith scene, and they go out to the car, and he goes, "What are you gonna do?" He goes, "What do you think I'm gonna do?" And the unrated, he goes, "What do you think you're gonna do?" "I'm gonna go kill this motherfucker, and then I'm gonna get my daughter back." So he just drops like 1 or 2 extra F-bombs. That's really all it is in like one scene. In the regular cut, in that same scene, he just goes, "I'm gonna go kill this guy." To get my daughter back, but in the unrated code, they slipped in some extra F-bombs. That's really all it is.
Oh, they don't. Okay, so it really doesn't make much of a difference if you watch
it's not
cut
like
or the extended cut.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, people made a big deal about the PG-13 though, but like it wasn't that big a deal. That movie's still basically the same. Yeah,
it's a good film, man.
It's a good movie, man.
I like Live Free or Die Hard.
It's a good movie.
I do. I like that. There's a couple movies that get thrown under a
bus, yeah.
Get thrown under the bus for some bizarre. I'm like, dude, Live Free or Die Hard was good. Like,
yeah,
come
that
on.
was good.
I saw that in the theater, man.
Oh, I did too. Yeah, of course.
That was a good time. Plus, when you get Maggie Q in that thing, oh my gosh!
Come on, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, dude. Come on, total hottie, best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look what she's doing now. You know, she's what is it? She's playing Hera on Ahsoka.
Yeah, we did a new show we have on the Movie Hero Network called Recast, where we're doing these little recast things for movies. And we did my favorite movie the other day. We did Aliens, and we all vote on each other's picks and kind of give them like a point system, and so one kind of emerges as the pick. And the one that won for the recast of Sigourney Weaver was Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Wow!
So yeah,
as Ellen Ripley.
As Ellen Ripley, yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. To be honest, if they did like a flashback sequence or like a mini series about a young Ellen Ripley, I'd watch that.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
If Mary Elizabeth Winstead's in it, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Been a fan of hers for a number of years now. Gosh,
yeah.
she's been some stuff, man.
Ever since Final Destination 3.
Well, that was the first FD movie I ever saw. Was Final Destination 3. It was the first one ever. And by the way, that film creeped me the heck out.
It's a great franchise, other than the fourth movie. Other than the final, it's almost a perfect franchise except for the Final Destination. Yeah, I don't know why. This lady's annoying, by the way. Like this the one lady that pops up here. She's got like the weird like Weasley laugh and shit like that. Like
kind of the weird leader of the gang.
Yeah, she's like the weird. She reminds me of like the Maude character in like the Goonies or something. You know, it's like she's so out of place. Oh, boobies.
You don't have to say everything that's going on.
What? No, here's Klaus. He's giving a discount Klaus Kinski in the bed. Yeah.
Everything that's going on screen, you don't have to necessarily describe it. But for those of you wondering what on earth
I'm
is going on
there's boobies at the 1 hour, 5 minute, 40-second mark.
Okay, well that's one way of going about a timestamp. Here for the 40th anniversary watch along of what is known as Sudden Impact with Clint Eastwood, who's been in how many movies now? 150,000, something like that. Yeah. But if anyone wants to join us, queue up your copy on a physical media or streaming service. Let us know your favorite moments from this movie or any other movie that Clint Eastwood has taken part in any way, shape, or form. And if you like what you see here, like and share this video of Movie Watch Along with everyone you know in case they missed the live portion of this show. And for those of you watching live or on the replay, we welcome and thank you for being with us.
He's I guess he's been in like 72 movies.
Feels like more.
I think it feels like more. Just
so much
it's just because he's directed movies that he wasn't in. That's why.
That's true. And by the way, I saw this movie for the first time earlier this year. Speaking of Clint Eastwood, because I want to keep this on the rails here if I can. One of the things I watched from Clint Eastwood earlier this year for the first time ever, Mystic River.
Yeah, it's a good movie too.
I finally saw it, and I got to tell you, that's a master class of acting right there.
Mm-hmm. A good movie that he's not in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some of the best acting I've ever seen.
I think that might have been the first one he directed that he wasn't in. I think, from what I remember.
Was it?
I think so, because pretty much everything he did in the 70s, 80s, 90s, he was in all of those movies that he directed.
What Oscar did he get Best Director that year? Or
I don't know if he won. I know Sean Penn won for actor for that movie. I think $1 Million Baby won for Best Picture, right? So he would win like next year for Best Picture. I can't remember if he won for director or not. I have to look that up and see. But I've got IMDb open. I'll look up Mystic River and see what it won.
2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie just turned 20 earlier this year, believe it or not.
Sure did, yeah.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy.
That movie turned 20. Lord of the Rings Return of the King turns 20 this month. So, Yep, Lord of the Rings.
Yep. I don't like the format of IMDb when they changed it on the browser. I don't mind it on my phone, but like the way they have it now, it's hard to find stuff. But okay, so won 2 Oscars. I know Sean Penn was one of them. I'm like
that was Best Actor, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm 100% of that. I know that for sure. It was nominated for Best Picture. Sean Penn won, and Tim Robbins won for supporting. So,
there you go.
And then Clint Eastwood was nominated for director, but
he was nominated, but he didn't win.
Yeah, let me look up and see if he's won for Best Director. So I'm clicking on Clint right now, and I'm gonna see if he's got some. He's won. It says he's won 4 Oscars, but let me see if they're for picture or for acting or director or whatever.
We know he won for Unforgiven.
Yeah, he won for Unforgiven. That's true.
That's an automatic right there.
So American Sniper won Best Picture, which is still kind of crazy when you think about that. Like, really, Best American Sniper? Okay. I don't know. That just seems out of place. Oh no, it was nominated. I'm sorry, just nominated. My bad. But let's see, nominee. Okay, winner. Yep, $1 Million Baby wins for Best Picture. Okay, he wins Best Director for $1 Million Baby as well, and then he wins Best Picture and Best Director for Unforgiven. Those are his 4.
Nice.
So there you go. So he's won twice.
Unforgiven's a great one.
Oh no, Unforgiven's it's awesome. So he's won 2 directing Oscars. Yes. So there you go. There you go.
I was wondering about that.
And two Best Pictures. So
Best Pictures, ladies and gentlemen. So
okay, so this is what I was going to talk about. So this lady pulls out a shotgun here in a second, and for no reason whatsoever, it's completely nonsensical that she has a scope on the shotgun. You don't use shotguns for sniping, for hunting. It's nonsensical to have it. A shotgun is a short range weapon, 100%. So it's really stupid to have a scope on a shotgun.
Is this a bait shop or a?
It's like a fish shop, tackle shop or something. I don't know.
Bait, what do you call it? Like bait and tackle, maybe?
Yeah, it's a bait and tackle, but they're also selling just fish, though. It's like a fish stand.
So
I feel like it's like a portside fish stand sort of.
It's basically portside fish stand. There you go.
See, look, she's got a scope on a shotgun. Like, get out of here. That's stupid.
Isn't that? It looks like a rifle, isn't it?
No, she's got a Ithaca 37.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's like a typical like.
Clearly, you know
shotgun.
more about this than I do.
No, that's a pump shotgun. Which is
I see what you mean now.
With a scope on it, which is stupid.
There's a wide shot where they're revealing that, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And by the way, if she had shot Eastwood with that shotgun, it would go right through him and into that other guy. By the way, she would have totally shot that other guy.
So it's like that scene on Last Crusade in the tank where he just fires the gun and like
3 shots,
guys just die right in front of him.
Yeah.
Which, fun fact, that movie also turns 35 next year, which is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
The best Indiana Jones movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look who it is. It's Eastwood and Meathead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've come a long way.
Meathead pisses on the table later. That's funny. A hoity-toity restaurant. Stupid outdoor restaurant. That seems like a bad idea.
A little, gruff, but you and your friend, you did take me by surprise. Well, buy me a beer and we'll call it even.
Yeah.
All right. Stay, Meathead.
Hey, look, way before John Wick, Eastwood had the dog follow him around without a leash. You know what I mean? So let's just say, a lot of these movies stealing from Eastwood here,
Stealing from, yeah. It's funny you bring that up because I actually finally just sat down and watched the John Wick Chapter 4 movie.
It's awesome. It's an action masterpiece. That's for damn sure.
Jeez, that movie goes all over the world at different continentals and different things going down. So
That movie is certified bonkers. Yeah.
It's a 3-hour gun foo fest, but at the same time, like there is a story to it and it makes sense. So
By the way, in that movie, the dragon's breath bullets that they use, those explosive rounds, those are real. By the way, you can buy those.
that's a real thing. Those
That's
weren't
a real.
just
That was not CGI. Those are real. Yeah.
Oh wow!
You
But
can
of
buy
course,
those.
they used stunt guys to take the hits, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're firing it, but like yeah. I mean, they're not like really shooting people, obviously, but I just mean the concept. Those are real bullets you can buy.
Wow,
They're
I didn't
called
know those were
Dragon's
real. I thought those were just made for the movie.
You can look up people using them on like firing ranges and like out in the woods and stuff like that. They're real. They're like fire rounds. It's ridiculous.
Dude, that's crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of things that happen in the movie. But I gotta tell you something, man. The cinematography is fantastic.
It's beautiful. It's a well shot movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Good character actors too, because some of them, I mean, they've been in other stuff for years and years and years. But when they show up in this movie, I'm like, wait a minute, I know these guys. So good movie. John Wick Chapter 4. Finally saw it. So nice job, guys. Nice work. Buy me a beer. We'll call it even. Well, you, Callahan, are an endangered species. So what do you do for a living? I paint. Paint? Houses? Cars? What? What do you paint? We hope you are enjoying this presentation of the 40th anniversary watch-along of Sudden Impact, which is the fourth film in the Dirty Harry franchise, starring the one and only Clint Eastwood. You also got Sandra Locke and Pat Hingle, as well as some other good character actors in there for good measure. So hope you're enjoying it. Callahan and the woman who is played by Sandra, the secondary lead character, Sandra Locke's character, is having a drink with Harry Callahan. They're kind of getting to know each other a little bit. So that's what's going on with that.
Yeah.
Could be somebody just collecting on debt.
It's weird that these two like hook up. It's just odd to me. Like right after this, you see them like in bed together. Like it's just odd. I don't know. Like,
well, in the behind the scenes documentary, he makes a point in addressing that.
Because she doesn't seem like she's interested in men because of her experiences.
Right, because of everything that's happened.
Right. So they
have a common, like they just have a couple of things in common in regards to not trusting within the law.
Maybe they're just going to be friends with benefits.
Boy, talk about being blunt on this broadcast. Let me tell you.
What? I'm not being explicit. That's a term. There's a movie called Friends with Benefits.
There is, and I made the mistake of seeing that in theaters.
And then the other one the same year, No Strings Attached.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Which one was the Kutcher and?
I don't remember. I can't keep them apart.
No. I think it was No Strings Attached was the one I saw in theaters, not Friends with Benefits. Friends with Benefits was Mila Kunis and JT.
JT, yeah. Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman was the other one.
Yeah, never mind. No Strings Attached, just nah.
One of them was directed by Ivan Reitman. I couldn't tell you which one.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, what is it called? No Strings Attached just didn't work overall for me. That was a bad day at the office for Hollywood. Sorry, guys, didn't work.
Yeah.
It did not work. You had two movies with the same premise, ladies and gentlemen.
JT as a leading man doesn't work, but as a side guy, he can be fun. Because like Social Network. Say what you will about the Love Guru, it stinks, but he's funny as like the pizza guy in that movie. Like he's funny.
Well, what do you think of his dramatic performance, or even though it was laced with what is known as comedy, in the Clint Eastwood movie Trouble with the Curve?
Oh God, it's been forever since I forgot he was in that movie.
Yeah, man. I actually just saw that earlier this year. I thought
that's one of those weird Eastwood movies where you would swear he directed it and then he didn't. Like that was just one of the ones he just starred in randomly. It's kind of like because he directed The Mule, right? So yeah, it's but yeah, Trouble with the Curve is one of those weird ones. Yeah, he didn't.
It is an off the beaten path one.
He's just in it. Yeah.
But I thought it was all right. I mean,
it's okay. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not great, but I enjoyed it to a degree.
I like Amy Adams, so I'll watch Amy Adams movies. But yeah,
she was great playing the daughter.
Yeah.
I mean, both her and JT were good to watch. They had some good
I
chemistry.
just completely like blanked on the fact that he's in that movie though. I just totally forgot about that.
Plays the love interest for what is it?
It's a better movie than In Time.
Yeah, yeah, man, that movie was so hyped with those trailers.
Talk about great movie premises that they did nothing with In Time.
Man, I like that movie for the first half, and then it just kind of went into a bit of a different direction.
Great premise, amazing premise, and then they do nothing with that premise. It just becomes generic stock action movie.
People on the run, I guess.
Yeah.
Fugitives from the law.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what that movie turned into.
Yeah.
What is it? People say online, like, if you watch In Time, the first 45 minutes are great, and then it just goes completely off the rails.
It is, yeah, it is. Oh, she's gonna another
45 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
another bullet to the hoo-ha here. Yeah.
You're not gonna do it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do it. Don't shoot me.
Yeah.
Oh, Sandra Locke is on a mission of revenge.
Man, she's
payback, baby.
She's on a tear. What she's up to? She's got like 3 body counts now. She's on a roll.
She's going after her ultimate goal here, my friend.
The kid cop who like is kind of helping him out in these scenes. He looks like Burt Ward. He looks like Robin.
He looks like
he does. He looks like, look at him. He looks like he looks like a mix between Burt Ward and Chris O'Donnell. He looks like Robin.
Wow, man, you have a way of describing young actors or characters, I should say, when it comes to certain movies. But for those of you wondering what's going on here, this is the 40th anniversary watch along of what is known as Sudden Impact, starring Clint Eastwood.
Come on, I'm keeping this entertaining, Ryan. You know what I mean?
Where are we in the film?
We're at 118. About 118.30.
Yep.
So.
1 hour, 18 minutes, 30 seconds. So if you want to keep your copy on a physical media or what is known as a streaming service, feel free to do so and watch the movie along with us. If you have any thoughts, any questions about this movie or anything else that's Clint Eastwood centered or something that Clint Eastwood was involved in, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. And don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. He's a good guy. Go easy on him.
Yeah, it is weird that Pat Hingle's like basically playing another pseudo commissioner in this movie as well, though. Like he's like a captain, but you know, he's essentially still playing the same. Yeah, he always kind of played like a judge or like a captain or some like authority figure. That's like just what he's one of those guys. He you know what he's like? He's like the early version of Philip Baker Hall. You know, who passed away recently.
Bookman.
Yeah, he
Bookman, man.
Because Philip Baker Hall did like the same type of thing where he always played like some attorney or a judge or a city council guy or a police captain.
He was a police captain in Rush Hour.
Yep.
He was what was that other movie? He was
He's big in Magnolia. His biggest part was in Magnolia, but yeah, he's in there. I mean, he's in a million. He's in Bad Words. He's in yeah, I mean the first thing I ever knew him from was Rush Hour. Yeah, because he was in
that. But was he also in The Firm with Tom Cruise or no?
Yeah, he's in there. He was in everything, dude. Like in the '90s, especially. He was in Air Force One. He pops. He's one of the people at the table.
Yeah, dude, Air Force One. That's another solid underrated movie.
He's in everything.
That's a good movie, man. Air Force One is so good.
He's funny in Rush Hour.
I mean, Harrison Ford is the president. I mean, it's so good, man.
No, Phil Baker Hall in Rush Hour. He's just like, we still got to remind the public that we can blow shit up.
That's the same reason I work, Cap. So I'm sure you and
Mr. Lee will have a nice time together.
I'm not kidding with you, man. You better call the FBI and tell you made a mistake, or I'm going to drop this Panda Express.
Woo, Captain. I don't feel about this. When I don't get to the top, I'll make you mayor.
I'd rather you didn't. Hey, Captain, I don't think this is funny. No, I'm serious, Captain. You got to call the FBI and tell me you made a mistake. He drops his case Carter, gets suspended 2 months without pay.
I'm going to drop his ass on Panda Express.
And then, what is it? Johnson comes on there. Congratulations, Carter. Looks like you finally found yourself a partner.
Elizabeth Pena. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. She's
Rush Hour. Rush Hour is 25 years old. Can you believe that?
Dude, that's insane, man.
That's insane, right? Dude, that makes you feel old, right? Rush Hour was the first one of the first 3 DVDs I ever owned.
Are you serious?
With the snap case. You remember?
Yeah,
when
yeah.
DVDs
I
had
remember
snap case?
that.
So the first 3 DVDs I ever owned, because we had our first DVD player was on our computer, our home computer, with a DVD round drive.
Yeah.
Our first 3 ones we ever owned were Rush Hour, The Matrix, and Beverly Hills Ninja.
Chris Farley, by the way, recipe Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait a minute. Nicolette Sheridan
Mm-hmm.
is in Beverly Hills Ninja, and she's quite beautiful.
Very sexy in that movie.
In that movie, well, both that movie and the spoof movie Spy Hard. With what was it, Leslie Nielsen? There you go.
Yeah. With Weird Al singing the theme song.
Yeah, and she had red hair in that movie too. Nicolette Sheridan could pull off both a redheaded look and a blonde look.
Yeah, she can.
Because I think is she naturally blonde? I want
to
to say.
Who
I think
knows?
she is.
She might.
No,
be.
I think she is because she played that. She had blonde hair throughout all 7 seasons of what was it, Desperate Housewives.
Yeah.
I know. We're just rattling off random actors in there.
Hey, why not? It's fun.
That's cool that your first 3 DVDs were Rush Hour. What was it? Matrix and
Beverly Hills Ninja. Yeah, and I had that Snap Rush Hour DVD up until like a year or 2 ago when I finally just plunked down and bought the Blu-ray set of all 3.
The Blu-ray,
yeah.
Is it true that they're trying to make a Rush Hour 4?
It keeps it's the same thing as with Chris Tucker being in another Friday movie. It's been bumped around for 10 years, but they haven't done anything with it. I mean, supposedly it's going to happen, but at the same time, it's do I really want to see 50-year-old Chris Tucker and 7-year-old Jackie Chan running around in another Rush Hour movie? Not really. If they do it, I'll watch it, but I don't need that movie. I don't need it because Rush Hour 1 and 2 are great. Third one's not so good, but 1 and 2 are awesome. I like both those a lot. But I kind of feel like those movies again were kind of a product of their time of late 90s, early 2000s. There's a magic to that.
Yeah, that was. I mean, Rush Hour 2 gave us the introduction to Zhang Jiai, who ended up being in Memoirs of a Geisha and a whole bunch of other movies for her career.
Yeah. She's.
What was it? Well, no, I think she was. Was she in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon before Rush Hour?
No, Rush Hour. Well, she's in Rush Hour 2, right? And
which was 2002. But
no, 2001, and Crouching Tiger was 2000. Yeah, and then she was in something recently that I saw her in, and I looked her up. I was like, oh, it's her because she looks exactly the same. She hasn't aged a day.
Certain actors and actresses just don't seem to age.
Nope.
And Zhang Jiai was in Memoirs of a Geisha. She's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Can't remember her filmography though, so I can't speak to that. But yeah, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon's a good film.
Yeah.
Look at Michelle Yeoh and what she's done the last 25 years.
Right, just kind of being sort of the female Jackie Chan, and then she becomes a dramatic actress, and she's really good.
Yeah, didn't she win an Oscar recently?
Yeah, she won for Everything
Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, her and
Short Round.
Ke Huy Quan, yeah.
Short Round.
Mm-hmm.
Look what happens, man. This guy was in 2 or 3 movies when he was a kid. He vanishes off the face of the earth for the longest time. Comes back. Now he's winning Oscars.
Mm-hmm. Good for him. Happy for him.
Some people said it was a shame that he didn't.
That's why you should do. That's why you got to do Temple of Doom next year. 40th anniversary of Temple of Doom, baby.
I can't in good conscience watch
Temple of Doom's awesome. That movie's great.
It's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'll give you 2 words that make that movie terrible. Willie Scott.
No,
but here's ruins that movie.
Compared to what's her name in this newest movie, she's the best. So this
is gonna shock everybody, but I would take Dial of Destiny over Temple of Doom any day of the week.
Oh hell no! I way disagree with you on that. Temple of Doom rules. That movie's great.
I don't know what movie you were watching.
The movie I've seen 9,000 times since I was a kid. It still
Temple
works.
of Doom. I know it turns the big 4-0 next year, but that's for me. I can't.
The movie that has some of the best 40 minutes of final action Spielberg's ever shot.
Well, if you and your friends at Movie Hero Network want to do a watch along for Temple of Doom, you go right ahead.
We're gonna watch it together, and I'm gonna convince you that's a good movie.
No,
Willie Scott is great because she's different than all the other. Every leading lady in the Indiana Jones has been different, and that's why
she does is complain.
She's the classic damsel in distress. It's the classic Hollywood stuff.
Yeah,
man.
but she's annoying.
But you had to make it different than Karen Allen.
Marion.
Yeah, and she's different than Ilsa.
Jeez. I can't, man. I don't understand how people can defend Temple of Doom. I just don't
I'll
get it.
defend it all damn day. And Short Round's a great
Jeez.
sidekick.
I don't know. I was on the streaming service that's hashtag not a sponsor of the show, but it is available on that. I mean, they all are, but I'm just flipping around and I noticed Temple of Doom hasn't been added to my watch list, and I added it even though I have no intention of.
I'm
But then
telling you,
again,
listen,
there's a little part of me that was a little curious. It's like, okay, it's been many years since I've seen Temple of Doom. Will it grow on me or only get worse? I don't know.
it has some of the best practical set pieces in the whole series. All the stuff, like the whole sequence, sacrifice sequence is amazing. And I literally contend the last 45 minutes of that movie is nonstop action. It's some of the best action Spielberg's ever shot, period. Like this whole thing from the sequence where they fight it out like on the sacrificial stage through the mine, the actual fight where he fights the big guy on the conveyor belt and all that sequence is great, to the actual minecart chase, to the bridge sequence. Like that whole thing is nonstop action. Some of the best shit Spielberg's ever shot. I will forever contend that.
Wow. It's going to be an interesting year next year when we're doing all these different watch-alongs for different movies, different, what is it called? Different movies, different
Hey,
franchises.
you notice, Ryan? She didn't shoot her. She doesn't have, junk, so she shot her in the boobs.
For those of us trying to get things back on track here, at least one of us is. This is the 40th. Wow, so she shot it and she killed a mirror.
See, look, they brought in discount Klaus Kinski into the station. See?
Hey, you're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you wondering what the Bantha fodder is going on here, and we're keeping stuff on the rails, even though some of us are not. This is the 40th anniversary watch-along celebration of what is known as Sudden Impact, the fourth installment in the Dirty Harry franchise, starring the one and only Clint Eastwood. And if you want to keep your copy on a physical media or streaming service, we are currently at the...
We are at the 1:28 and 20 seconds.
There you go. So if you want to keep your copy to that particular point in time, please do so on a physical media or streaming service. Watch the movie along with us. Share your thoughts and feelings about this or any other project that Clint Eastwood has taken part in. And don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. We thank you for joining us, whether you are joining us live or on the replay. Thank you for being here.
Eastwood? Clint Eastwood? What kind of stupid name is that?
I think he's the running theater. Will you take a look at this, Charlie Watts? Hey, what about those moccasins? What kind of scheme is them? What's that rotten name? Nick K. What is this, kind of Asian dog or something?
I didn't know the circus was in town.
Oh, look who just breathed in the door.
Yeah.
The
old school Western character actors, by the way. All those guys have been in Clint Eastwood movies, by the way. The guys in Back to the Future 3.
I did not know that.
The bartender in that movie.
Yeah, who's that guy?
He was, if you go back and watch a High Plains Drifter, he's the barber in High Plains Drifter.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He's I forget the cat. Again, those are all character actor guys. But if you go back and watch any Western from like the 70s, you'll see all those guys in there. Harry Carey Jr., the other dude, the Pat Buttram, the guy who has the weird like that guy. No, Pat Buttram is the guy that goes, everybody everywhere will say Clint Eastwood is the biggest yellow belly in West. That's Pat Buttram, and
dude, he was the voice of the Sheriff of Nottingham in Robin Hood.
Yeah, no, he did a lot of voice stuff back in the day. But all those guys, if you go back and watch 70s movies, they'll be in like every Western. Like one of those guys will pop up in every single one you watch.
So there's a reason that Robert Zemeckis.
Oh, they did their research. Yeah, they put all these guys.
They included all the Easter eggs in the
100%. Yeah, go watch High Plains Drifter when he first comes into town and goes and pays for a shave and a bath. Like it's the bartender from Back to the Future 3. Yeah,
bartender. I'm looking for a no good cheap blacksmith. You've seen him? No, sir, Mr. Tannen. I have not.
I have not.
You're Mad Dog Tannen. Mad Dog. I hate that name. I hate it. You hear? It's just, man. Yeah. Thomas F. Wilson. Bless that man's heart. He plays 3 or 4 different generations.
I've seen him do stand-up.
He does it so well.
He's a good stand-up comedian too, by the way.
Have you been to a stand-up? One of his stand-up shows?
Yeah, I got a picture with him after one of his stand-up shows.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
Did you get him to sign your Back to the Future DVD?
No. I just got a picture with him.
And
he wasn't really doing autographs, but he was taking pictures in the lobby. So that's cool. Hey, that's fine. I got to fucking take a picture with him. He's cool.
No, that's great. But I'm just saying, like the next time you see him, you may want to get your BTTF.
Well, I know, but I figured it'd be weird to take that to a stand-up show, and he'd probably be like, "What are you doing, bro?" But he was taking pictures. I had a Back to the Future shirt on in the picture, so it's fine.
Oh, that's nice. So at least you still met the quota.
Yeah.
Nice. Dude, you met Thomas F. Wilson. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope to meet him one day at a convention. I know he does a bunch of shows every year.
Yeah, he's starting to get back into the convention scene. He wasn't for a while, but he's getting back into it.
Yeah, I want to meet him, man. Because I'm trying to think. Only Back to the Future alumni I've met so far is Chris Lloyd, which has been great. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to meet more members of the cast because Back to the Future is one of my favorite trilogies.
My partner Jordan finally he went to a convention and they paid the big bucks to before because who knows how long it's gonna be around, but he paid for the big professional photo shoot with Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox. So yeah, which was pricey, but at the same time.
I mean, it's Michael J. Fox.
Given Michael J. Fox's health and how old Christopher Lloyd is, you just don't know how long those guys are going to be doing it.
That's true. Yeah, I was very happy that I got a picture with Chris Lloyd in front of a DeLorean and a Back to the Future clock tower backdrop.
See, I would have to decide if I ever met him, what would I get like an 8x10 of Back to the Future or Roger Rabbit? Because I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's one of my top favorite, 20 favorite movies. No, he's so good in that movie. But he's great. Oh no, this is
Didn't you used to be Eddie Valiant? I heard your new name is Jack Daniels.
That's another movie I could quote like all damn day. And that movie,
can you?
That movie, oh dude, that movie I've seen.
You can quote all 2 hours of that thing?
Oh, 100%, because I have a VHS copy signed by Charles Fleischer of that movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I still have it. Yeah.
Dude, how was he when you met him?
Grumpy.
So that was you caught him on a bad day, I
I
guess.
don't know. I think he just didn't want to be there. Yeah, he's been working forever, and most people just know him as Roger Rabbit. I think he's kind of bummed about that.
Not as the guy who says, "I wish I could go back to the beginning of the season, put some money on the Cubs."
Yeah. Oh, he's also in Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one.
Oh, in the first one?
Yeah, he's in the hospital scene. He's like the doctor in the hospital scene.
Nice.
And I said recently,
Nightmare on Elm Street's one of the best horror films. So.
And like I said, he's in Zodiac. He's the creepy guy in Zodiac, so he got some more kind of notoriety from that.
Wow, he's done a lot.
Yeah, he's been around forever, but yeah,
jeez, it's pretty good, isn't he?
He's not bad. It's the same convention where I worked a wrestling show at that convention, the same one where I met Jason David Frank. Rest in peace, by the way. But it was when he was just starting to do like conventions again and starting like he was he also kind of like didn't want to be. This is before he like fully re-embraced the Power Ranger fandom because it took him a couple years to do that.
Years ago.
Yeah, because I walked up to him and he had like 2 people in his line, but like 5 years later he would have like 1,000 people in his line because
his line would go like 6 miles around the block.
Yeah, because he finally embraced it and started doing all stuff on Facebook and everything. And like,
I should know. I've been in those lines.
Sure, but yeah, it was him and what's his name, Steve Cardenas.
Steve Cardenas. Yeah,
they were there together, so I got them to both sign a 8x10 of the movie.
Nice.
But
from the movie.
From the movie, yeah. That way I could just buy one 8x10 and give them both to sign the same one.
If I didn't have the Ranger actors that I've met sign my MMPR, the movie Divida, that would have been a waste. It's like you got to have them sign that, man.
Oh, for sure.
Which I ended up taking care of. So thank goodness for that. I have that signed. I think I have the Turbo movie signed on Divida, even though we all know nowadays I realize how terrible the Turbo is. It's real bad. Not the actor's fault, but it's a very bad.
Just not great. It just feels like a TV pilot or something. It's just not good.
The thing was
it's bad.
So wasted. So wasted.
But if you like, you can go back on the Nerd Culture channel and check out our Power Ranger discussions and panels and whatnot. Where we
have plenty of those on our channel. Which, by the way, for those of you wondering, we do have a playlist called for the Power Ranger Nerds playlist. We've conducted interviews with some of the former cast members of the show, composers of the show, and we've done some discussions on a lot of different seasons and some of the all the movies. So definitely go back and check out that playlist. It's all there. We had the pleasure of interviewing David Fielding, who played Zordon earlier this year. We had the pleasure of interviewing composer Ron Wasserman.
Ron Wasserman's awesome.
Earlier this year. So if you want to go back and watch that, which goes double for Austin over here, you should go back and watch those interviews. Those were a lot of fun. Ron Wasserman, oh my gosh, guys!
How many times I've gone on like Spotify and just listened to that Ron Wasserman Redux album? Like that album rules. Yeah.
You're talking about the Redux album. Oh my gosh.
No, I mean the original one's great too. I'm just saying, like when he was conscious enough to like remaster and kind of re-record all those, and they're still great.
Right.
like 20 years later, and it was still awesome. Yeah, he's the man.
Which you can find on your music streaming services, or you can probably find it on YouTube at this point.
Yeah, the original soundtrack is on YouTube.
Oh, well, that answers that question. Feel free to listen to it after you're done watching the 40th anniversary celebration. Watch along with Impact. Goodness gracious.
Eastwood just got thrown off a bridge.
Yeah, but what was that? Like a 10-foot?
Yeah, no, I mean, they assume he's like dead. They just like walk away, and it's like, dude, you guys just threw him off like a 10-foot bridge. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think it was a 10-foot bridge.
Oh, he didn't come up immediately, so we assume he's dead. It's like, come on, guys.
It's
like you didn't want to bother to like finish him off there. No, okay.
No,
right, just walk away. So we can make it. It's so we can make his dramatic entrance later under the lights, like in that trailer you played at the beginning. That's in this.
Which, yeah,
it's a great shot though. I'll give you that.
Minor spoiler, but yes.
Yeah.
Good. It's a heck of a trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, so this person is
Pat Engel's son
to a wheelchair. Is he not moving?
Yeah, he's like catatonic. It's Pat Engel's
there you go. I was looking for the term there. Thank you.
It's catatonic, like the guy in Patch Adams.
Yes. But he is blinking his eyes though.
Well, catatonic people blink their eyes and breathe. They just don't move their limbs.
Speaking of medical conditions, I finally just saw the movie Awakenings for the first time.
That's a good movie.
A few weeks ago, with the late great Robin Williams and Bobby D. Robert De Niro, yeah. And I didn't know this about this movie. That was directed by Penny Marshall. So.
Penny Marshall had a good run of movies in the late 80s, early 2000s. Because then right after that, she does League of Their Own, which is also great.
Which is one of the greatest. To me, it's my favorite sports movie of all time. But yeah, love that movie. I mean, a lot of people do. I'm not saying that's necessarily breaking.
Oh yeah, it's not like a hot take. Yeah,
it's not a breaking news story or anything. But League of Their Own's like my favorite sports movie ever made. So. Love that movie so much. And I've had the pleasure of meeting Kit Keller. I met Lori Petty one time. She signed my Blu-ray.
Yay, I like Lori Petty.
23, Kit, or 24, whatever it was. Kit Keller. And it's, I think she signed it.
I definitely had a thing for Lori Petty in like the early 90s between Point Break and Free Willy and Tank Girl. And
I totally forgot about Free Willy.
Yeah, she's in a wetsuit in most of Free Willy. It's pretty great.
Yeah, but she's also in a wetsuit in Point Break most of the
time. Yeah, right.
Half the time, guys.
Yes.
Half the time.
Yep.
Point Break gets better every time I watch it for some reason. For some reason, every time I watch it, I just enjoy it more and more.
It's a weird movie, but it's not bad.
It's a fun movie, though.
I'm not as obsessed with it as like Nick Frost is in Hot Fuzz, but you know.
Oh man, I really like Point Break, dude.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. But anyway, Sandra Locke is about to confront another character that gave her bad memories. So apparently,
and we find out that Pat Engel's kid like did some naughty things as well, and now he's regretted. You know, he's kind of regretted it over the years, and he's kind of catatonic because of it now. I thought it was going to be when I revisited Ryan that it was like I thought it was going to be one of those twists where Pat Engel was like running the gang or something. You know, like I thought it was going to be that, and I was like, oh no, that's like kind of predictable, right? But he's not necessarily. He's like he sort of covers for his locals, but like not all the way. But I thought it was going to be one of those twists where it was like, the whole thing where like everybody in the town is in on it, like that sort of thing, and he sort of has to expose all the corruption. But that's not the case because he doesn't have a very good end here.
He was trying to do the right thing, though.
He was trying to.
Right.
But little too late, Ryan, you know?
Yeah, as the expression goes, too little and too late, my friends.
Yeah.
Is this what you had in mind for me?
This guy is really hamming it up like the Klaus Kinski guy. Like he's
bad guy.
He's very over the top and like he's very just like
bad dude. I got
my lady. My lady.
Yeah. Oh, look, Eastwood's not dead.
You know who could use a wetsuit? Clint Eastwood right now. He's probably cold.
I mean, if you want to go that direction, hey.
He just passed by his prison buddies in the life raft escaping Alcatraz.
Alcatraz, man. One of not the very first, but one of the first things I think of when I think of Alcatraz is The Rock with Sean Connery.
Yeah, no, The Rock is good.
And what's the other guy? Nick Cage.
Nick Cage,
Nick
Ed
Cage,
Harris,
ladies and gentlemen.
Ed Harris, who I just watched the other night in the remastered theater showing of The Abyss in 4K, which was great.
Wow.
Which it's been a minute since I saw that movie. But yeah,
Yeah.
they re-released it in theaters for one night, and that was great. It was really good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Coming out in
I'm
coming out in 4K in March. Yeah, coming out
it's
soon.
expected on 4K in March. Okay.
Yeah, no, on the same day, 3 of Cameron's movies are getting released on 4K on the same day.
Which one?
Aliens, all the ones that aren't on 4K, Aliens, The Abyss, and True Lies.
Wow. Okay.
The ones that are notorious only, as far as in the case of The Abyss and True Lies, which are only available on DVD as of right now.
Yeah, I have both of them on DVD. I have True
Yeah,
Lies
so
and Abyss.
they're finally Cameron finally broke away enough from Avatar to actually supervise and release the 4Ks. Yeah.
And I take it you have them on reserve?
I haven't pre-ordered them yet because they're not available for pre-order yet, but as soon as they are, yes. No, Aliens is my favorite movie of all time, so I will definitely be picking that up, which I bought 3 times on Blu-ray.
Jeez, man, you bought that movie 3 times?
Well, I have the Alien Blu-ray set, the quadrilogy Blu-ray.
Yeah, I have the quadrilogy as well.
I have this 30th anniversary Blu-ray right here, which is like a whole separate thing, which is
that's
a
a
sweet
good
little
looking
box.
Blu-ray, man.
Yeah, and it's got like a booklet and stuff too. So I'm not going to get rid of this. I'm still going to keep it, but obviously with a 4K coming out, I'm still going to buy it. But yeah.
You're going to need bigger shelf space.
No, yeah, I'll just have to rearrange. I'll just have to display that Aliens and then put my 4K on the actual shelf.
Put the 4K.
Well, I have the box sets like lined up on the top to make more room. So because they display well. Some of them look good on the shelf. But
Interesting, boy. The things we do to collect our favorite films.
It's
I don't have a problem with Aliens because Aliens is my favorite of that series. So
Aliens rules. It's a great movie.
I'm with you on that, man. Game over, man. Game over.
over.
You gotta leave, man.
Yep.
Oh,
they're about to do some dirty things to Sandra Locke. I hope Clint Eastwood shows up on time to save the day. I hope Dirty Harry can get there.
Okay, you scum. You want to try it again? Think you can do it? Think you can do it this time? You think you can make things work this time?
She literally said, "Do you think you can get it up this time?"
She is taunting these guys.
Oh yeah, she is. She is not holding back right now.
She's not holding back her anger, her fury. Everything has led to this moment.
Mm-hmm. She just kicked him in the balls instead of shooting him in the balls.
I think he's the last one on her hit list.
Yeah, he's the last one, although he has like his new little buddies with him, but those buddies that are with him were not part of the original Flashback.
Right. Though. But she'd probably still, kill him.
Yeah, she took care of everybody else from the Flashback already throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's getting real personal.
Yeah.
It's like Jaws 19. This time it's really, 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 really personal.
Really, 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 really directed by Max Spielberg.
Max Spielberg. It's too bad we never got to see that in 2015, Jaws 19. I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah.
Directed by Max Spielberg, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
One of Zemeckis' closest friends.
Mm-hmm.
Or biggest supporters, I should say.
Right.
Because they got a lot of his films made.
This sequence right here that we're watching reminds me of
down on the beach.
Well, he's calling her like the C word and stuff. I won't say it, but he's calling her like the C word and stuff like that. It reminds me of Jeff Goldblum does something similar in the original Death Wish. You ever seen it before he was famous?
Wait a minute, Jeff Goldblum was in the original Death Wish?
Yeah, from like 71. Yeah,
he's like out of here. I didn't know
he's
he was
one of the
he's one of the what's his face with Charles Bronson.
Yeah, he's one of the original again, I won't say it because YouTube doesn't like the R word as well for the naughty thing that they do. But he's one of those guys, in Death Wish, and he has a line where he's like, "God damn, Rich, see," like he's like, "I hate Rich," like it's you can look it up, like it's Jeff Goldblum. It's weird.
I didn't know he did. I didn't know he was in a film before all the other stuff that he did.
Oh yeah, no, he did all these little weird bit parts for the early 70s, and then he finally broke out with stuff like Invasion of the Body Snatchers and The Big Chill and things like that. So
wow, I did not know he was in the. I've never seen Death Wish ever.
Death Wish, the series is weird because the first one is very serious, the second one is very serious. The second one's even more like gnarly serious than the first one, and then it goes off the rails once Canon Films got a hold of it with Death Wish 3.
We all know what happened with Canon Films.
Canon Films and Death Wish 3 is one of the most notoriously bonkers, over the top, crazy action movies ever made. It's ridiculous. So if you're gonna watch any one of them, just for sheer like, what the hell is going on here? Like, he's firing rocket launchers, he's shooting up oogles of people in that movie. Like it's a total Canon Films movie where it's just ridiculous. Death Wish 3 is amazing. It's really something. But
Well,
the original one is very like the original two are very gritty and like more realistic, and then they just go off the rails once Canon Films tried to turn it into like an action franchise, so it became ridiculous.
Wow.
The documentary. There's a documentary called Electric Boogaloo, which, by the way, if you've never seen it, about Canon Films, about the rise and fall of Canon Films, it's a really great documentary.
I've never seen the documentary, so there's a lot of things I need to catch up.
I have it on Blu-ray. Yeah, it's called Electric Boogaloo, The Wild Untold Story of Canon Films. This is a double set. It also comes with Maidens Unleashed, about the weird genre of like women in cages movies from the Philippines that were made in the 70s. Yeah.
It's
Yes.
Canon Films was a few French fries short of a Happy Meal here.
Yeah. It's a great documentary, though, man. It's fascinating. The Canon Films thing is fascinating because they're the ones who made the Missing in Action movies
with Chuck Norris. Yeah,
they did Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone.
Arm
They
wrestling.
did Bloodsport and Kickboxer. They did Invasion USA with Chuck. They did Superman 4. Notoriously did Superman 4. The Quest for
Grew up
Peace.
watching that. Yeah.
They did the Masters of the Universe movie.
Oh, that was Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren. They did
Frank
those weird Hercules movies with Lou Ferrigno where he fights robots.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that is no.
Oh yeah. No, they're crazy. So it's a fascinating little thing because they had the weird studio in the 80s where they tried to make all these wacky movies. Yeah.
Did you enjoy any of the Missing in Action movies that Norris did?
You know what's weird about those movies is that they made the Missing in Action 2 is actually Missing in Action 1.
Yeah, it's a prequel, right?
Sort of, yeah, but they filmed. It's like they released them backwards. It was weird. And so Mission in Action 2 is actually better than Missing Action 1 because it has more action in it. But it was weird the way they filmed it. It was not intended that way, and then they botched the release and just released the second one. Like they released Mission Action 1, which was actually Missing Action 2, and then they released Mission Action 2, which was Missing Action 1. It was odd. But anyways, Here's the nice shot we were talking about from the trailer. It's a pretty good shot though.
Look at that.
Look at it with his giant 44
right there.
Yeah, see, he's got his gun from the beginning of the movie. You see, so
yeah, because his partner turns around and says, "Holy, you know what?" And then all of a sudden, you see this guy standing in the pale moonlight.
Mm-hmm.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Mm-hmm.
What? I always ask that of all my prey.
I just like the sound of it.
Never with a man's rhubarb.
Yeah.
And no one has ever heard that term in any movie until that word comes up, and I'm thinking, well, what the heck is a rhubarb? And then I did Googling later in life, and I realized, don't mess with like my personality or whatever.
Dude, yeah. No matter what you've scheduled for next year, we have to do Batman 89. We have to do Batman 89.
That's one of my top.
But I swear to God, it's not going to be us talking about the movie. We're just going to be going back and forth with the dialogue the entire movie, just quoting the entire thing left or right.
I mean, seriously, you and I are going to look at each other, and then I got to decide, Bob, why don't you go down to the glow, follow that reporter Knox, take your camera, see what he knows.
Because you are my number one, and I.
That's her. Oh my gosh,
Eckhart, think about the future.
That movie is endlessly.
That movie is quotable with every fucking line of that movie is quotable. It's great.
I would agree. I would honestly, man, I can't disagree with you on that. Like it's
but I love it. I had that movie on VHS when I was a kid.
Same here. We were cut from the same cloth of that movie.
It's burned into my brain every line because I watched it 100,000 times.
Yep.
Like I watched that movie over and over again.
It's tattooed in my brain.
And I bought it on every media. I had it on DVD. I had it on Blu-ray. I had it on 4K.
I got the Blu-ray set.
Yeah,
I got the 25th anniversary Diamond Deluxe edition that Warner Brothers came out with.
Finally got to see it in a theater back in 2019, which was cool. Which I had been waiting to see. My Cinemark did a 30th anniversary screening. That was pretty great.
Yeah, dude. I think I was there. My local Cinemark for that too.
Yeah, that was a great night, man. I was so excited. I was so happy. I finally got to watch it in the theater. My ex will tell you she went with me, and I was giddy like a little kid, like that whole screening.
Just like your father, giddy as a
dude. When they have the bit where like he busts through the door and she goes, and he goes, "Get in the car." Which one? And they get in the car and they hit the music. I was
Danny
just
like,
I was like,
the Danny Elfman score is booming in the hit.
I was bouncing up and down like a little child. I was like, oh,
I want that car, man.
It's the best Batmobile ever. I still contend.
100%. 100%.
You know why? Because it looks like a damn Batmobile. That's why. When you think of a Batmobile, like what a Batmobile should look like, it should be a ridiculous car. That's a Batmobile.
It's a Batmobile, yeah.
All the other cars are too realistic. That one's a
I want
Batmobile.
that car so much.
Let the girl go, punk.
Let the girl go, punk. Let my baby go. I can't do that.
Yeah.
This
I
is
do
my
like that this kind of concludes on a roller coaster, sort of. Like I like that.
This is my prize. Come on, cop. I know you can't do that. I can't just let her go. It'd be just you and me.
They got that very bright, like fake blood on her face, like the very bright red blood.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
It's the same blood they use in like Dawn of the Dead from like '78. Very bright red.
It's not a bad idea now, is it?
Boom, 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 boom. Bang,
Is that
bang.
twice or 3 times he shot? No,
She shoots it like 4 times.
4 times, dude.
Yeah, and then he falls off. Yeah.
Falls off the what is it, the bridge? The
oh, see, it's a great villain death though, because he's shot 4 times, goes through the plate of glass, and then gets impaled on the carousel. That's a great villain death.
Wow,
that's a good villain death. You know.
I just noticed that, man.
Yeah. See, you need I miss epic villain deaths. You got to have epic villain deaths. You know,
They're wheeling him out in a stretcher.
Yeah.
He out, man.
Woo! You know he did.
Rush Hour. I understand that reference.
Yeah, right.
That's what happens when I've seen that movie so many times.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens now? Well,
read your rights.
Well, what exactly are my rights? Where was all this concern for my rights when I was being beaten and mauled? What about my sister's rights when she was being brutalized?
But I love that his I have to wonder if this would actually work though. His whole way to solve this whole thing is to plant her gun on the guy. That's it.
Spectre found a 38 snub in his belt.
So is his story going to be that the main guy killed all of his buddies and shot them all in the
running through ballistics? They could find his gun there was used in all the killings.
I feel like there'd be some holes in that story, but
it's over. Yeah,
it's over.
It's over.
Yeah, go take that gun, Robin.
Take that gun to ballistics.
Hey, I sort of referenced Clint Eastwood was almost Batman in the 80s. They almost did a Dark Knight Returns adaptation with Clint Eastwood. That's a true story. You can look that up.
Wow.
That's it. Go research that. They almost did a Dark Knight Returns movie with Clint Eastwood in like the early 80s. That's a real thing.
I wouldn't have mind seeing that.
He could have made a decent like older Dark Knight Returns Batman, I think, in a certain time period. Not only a certain time frame. It had to be a very specific time frame, but he could have done it, I think.
Could have done it right after Sudden Impact.
Yeah.
Because he kind of proved himself. I mean, he's proven himself before this, but I'm just saying, like, for the age and what the storyline that they're going for, in 84 or 85, they easily could have done a Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, and
maybe even 86.
He was considered. That almost happened.
Dude, I would have loved to have seen that, brother. I would have loved to have seen that, to be perfectly honest with you.
Here's a Collider article even just from like a few months ago. For a brief moment, Clint Eastwood could have been Batman. There's a story behind it where they almost actually both in the 80s and they almost did a Batman Beyond movie where he would have been old Bruce, which I could actually see.
That's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah. So there you go.
Interesting stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the conclusion of what is known as Sudden Impact from 1983, starring the one and only Clint Eastwood, the 4th installment within the Dirty Harry franchise. My goodness, what a film this was. I got to tell you, but before I share that with you and also give you some updates here in just a moment, Austin, what are your thoughts on Sudden Impact overall? And on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you going to give this?
Yeah, again, my more serious watch was last night, which I'm glad I did because we went on a lot of tangents today. If I was trying to pay attention to the film, I wouldn't know what's going on. But no, my watch last night was a lot of fun. This is definitely the most. Again, I think this is a much leaner movie than some of the other ones in that, we don't get a lot of like procedural stuff. It's pretty much set piece to set piece, just Clint Eastwood killing people, shooting people with guns, doing this investigation. But I do think the Sandra Locke story is interesting, and it's interesting to see a woman kind of being sort of a pseudo serial killer, because that's kind of what she is in this movie. Going on a little revenge tour. I mean, that was something for like '83. And I do think it's a fun movie overall. It's pretty entertaining. I'd go like a 7.5, something like that. It's pretty solid. I think the overall the best one I think is still either Dirty Harry or Magnum Force. I also really like Magnum Force, but I don't think it's quite to that level. But I think all these movies are entertaining overall, and Eastwood definitely carries it, and it's a fun character to follow for sure.
Yeah, I can understand that. And thank you for sharing that with us, Austin. So for me in Sudden Impact, going back and watching the Dirty Harry movies, for me, I just think of the sequels, not counting the original, of course,
Sure.
which is Dirty Harry in this case. But for me, Sudden Impact is my favorite of the sequels because of the storyline and how different it is from the other two, and how it takes a very serious subject matter and gives it the spotlight, because a crime is a crime.
Yeah.
And these things are still being, unfortunately, these crimes are still being committed today. And it's a tough thing to deal with. It's a tough thing to discuss, especially if you've never been through it. It's a very different kind of thing. But regardless of that, they handle the subject matter. I think, they put a spotlight on it, because not a lot of films in the 80s were talking about this sort of thing. So my hat's off to Clint Eastwood. He directed this installment of the franchise. So I want to say happy 40th anniversary to the entire cast and crew of Sudden Impact. I really like this movie. I think it's the best of the sequels, in my opinion. Scale 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10 for Sudden Impact. I think it's a good movie. It's one of the better films within the Dirty Harry franchise, not counting the original, because to me, Dirty Harry, the first one, is the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Still is the best one. Do I feel lucky? Oh, do you, punk? I mean, it's just... there's so much good stuff in that movie.
And I love 70s movies too, and it's got that 70s like aesthetic to it. And yeah, this one is definitely 80s, like Dirty Harry placed in the 80s. But yeah, 70s movies are great. I've been on a 70s kick lately, and I love how just ballsy they are, and they just don't care. They did whatever they wanted. It's great. So yeah, I love 70s stuff, especially Dirty Harry. Yeah.
Yeah. Did I fire 6 shots? No, 7. I kind of strike myself. But anyway, so those are my thoughts on Sudden Impact. But hey, we want to know what you have to say about this movie. So if you've never seen any of the Dirty Harry movies before, if you've never seen Sudden Impact before, check it out. Check your local listings. Check out the streaming services that it's available on. Watch it. Give it a watch. Let us know what you think in the comments or the chat, whatever it may be. And those are my thoughts. Those are our thoughts, I should say, rather, on Sudden Impact. So once again, congratulations to the cast and crew. Happy 40th anniversary to Sudden Impact of 1983. Austin, thank you so much, kind sir, for being here. Where can the good people of the interwebs follow you on social media?
Mostly you can just head over to the Movie Hero Network. Just search Movie Hero Network on YouTube. You can find us over there. Our YouTube channel, we have all kinds of shows going on over there. Ryan Permison has been a part of our Seen and Heard Trivia, which is one of our shows we have over there. On the occasional Sunday, we'll be doing one this week, Christmas exhibition, so that'll be a lot of fun. We also have tournament fights, tier ranker fights, podcasts about movies, the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast, Podcast League Now, all kinds of good shows over on the Movie Hero Network. So that's where you can go find us. We would love to earn your subscription over there. Thank you very much.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. And thank you once again for being with us. We greatly appreciate it. Always a blast having you here and having these fun...
we go off on a lot of tangents, but it's fun. It's all movie related. We have good movie talks.
Yeah, and for the most part, we do our best to keep it on the task at hand and the subject matter and what's going on within the film. And hey, we were talking a lot about Clint Eastwood tonight, so that's not a bad thing. So
yeah.
It's always a plus when we're talking about Clint Eastwood, one of the greatest actors / directors of all time. So well done.
He's going to be making movies till he's like 120. He's just going to keep chugging along.
He's going to keep chugging along, as Austin said.
Yeah.
So you can follow me on what is known as Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5. Check out all the wonderful things we're doing here at And I Quote Channel. So many great things are coming your way. We got the Nerdy Cantina, where we talk about Star Wars. Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time with some friends of ours. It's been a lot of fun with that. If you want to support the show, you can to go to our Buy Me a Coffee link located in the description below, also located in the link in our bio. Support the show by buying us a pizza, because instead of buying us a coffee, we prefer pizza. So support the show. Any support you can give us, we would greatly appreciate. Also, we got some great merch that's available right now. The link is in our bio. Also, links are in the description below. We got t-shirts, we got long sleeve shirts, because it's getting into the cold weather season. We got hoodies, we got lightweight hoodies, heavyweight hoodies, zip up hoodies. We also have stickers and coffee mugs and all kinds of great things that include and I quote merch. So check it out. All the information is located in the link in our bio or in the description below. So greatly appreciate your support there. Also, we're this close to hitting 1,000 subscribers. Once we do, we're going through a great big live stream celebration. It's going to include returning guests, such as Austin may want to come in and say hi to everybody.
Hey.
Also, I'm going to have some special guests, and we're also going to have some special giveaways that you, our incredible subscribers / viewers and listeners, could win, which include 11x17 prints provided by our friend, The Art of John Pinto, on Instagram and Facebook. Doctor Who. Got a print of Doctor Who if you're a fan of the Doctor Who universe. I mean, he just turned the big 6-0 recently, so congratulations to Doctor Who. If you're a fan of the War in the Stars, also known as Star Wars, you can end up winning this. We can send this directly to your door. So those are just very small example of some of the great prints and some other things that we have coming your way very soon as giveaways that we're going to be running during that live stream, as well as on our other forms of social media. So stay tuned to that. Our next movie anniversary watch along is going to be for the 30th anniversary of Batman Mask of the Phantasm. And I believe we're going to be pushing that to December 17th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, unless otherwise noted. So please stay tuned to our social media. If any updates or we need to change the day or the time, we will make sure that those notifications get out to you. So subscribe to our channel, like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified of when our videos go up or they go live. And thank you so much for joining us. And remember, life is better when you're watching movies with friends and or family. Take a look.
This is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world. And it could blow your head clean off.
Get ready
Do you feel lucky?
to get dirty.
Blow through you, punk.
Dirty Harry, the Ultimate Collector's Edition. The original tough guy is back and available for the first time in high definition.
Why do they call you Dirty Harry?
You're a killer, Harry. A maniac.
Man's got to know his limitations.
You are Cold Bold Callahan with his great big 44.
Somehow you don't seem like the typical policeman.
I'm not. You want to play the game? You better know the rules, love.
Loaded with high-caliber special features, including all new interviews with Clint Eastwood,
I figured the fact that I even got in the movie business must have been somewhat controversial. I certainly was turned down by enough people.
new documentaries, and exclusive new collectibles, including a Scorpio killer map and a Harry Callahan badge and wallet.
We're not just going to let you walk out of here.
Who's we, sucker?
Smith, Wesson, and me.
Experience Dirty Harry like never before. Restored, remastered, and fully loaded.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Dirty Harry, the Ultimate Collector's Edition. Own it on Blu-ray and DVD Tuesday, June 3rd. Also available separately on DVD.
All right, I'm a little tired, I'm a little wired, and I think I deserve a little appreciation.